I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but you can say that about any community.
But you know what? I do every day. I talk about the black community, Latino community, Asian community. Today I spun the wheel and landed. Hold on, I wasn't finished, bro. I wasn't finished though. Today I spun the wheel and it landed on Jews. Because Jews should get as much smoke as anybody else. We're not the only persecuted, oppressed people in this world, man.
Man, you sound like a guy who needs some therapy. I got a good therapist for you.
Why do I need therapy? On the 5 minutes ago, you were saying I have a right to feel how I feel. Now I need therapy.
You do, but anybody who feels like that needs a bit of therapy. We all need therapy, JB. Everybody on this fucking app needs therapy. You know.
I guess I'm a self-hating Jew today, because that's what I've been labeled.
I don't need therapy.
I go to therapy twice a week. It's no shame in therapy.
And so there was.
Okay.
On stage that says that he supports the IRGC.
It's not enough for me to say I agree with Israel's what they're doing to Iran. That's not enough. It's not enough for the thousands of pro-Israeli rooms, the thousands of dollars I generated for hostage family. It's not enough. You see how he fled? He fled.
Because they have no accountability. That's why, JP. They have none. They have no accountability with their arguments whatsoever.
I mean, the same people who support the IRGC or Hamas, like, these are the same people crying about women and children dying. I mean, you sanctioning these these primitive barbarians is the reason why women and children are dying. Like, why? Like, if you don't feel bad for why should I? You know, like that is.
Let me say something here, Simon. Hold on a second. Since I got on this ad today, there's already been, that I know of, 3 rooms with my name in the title. Not 1, not 2, but 3. And then some of my Hebrew brothers came in, and I said, and we were having a conversation. I said, yo, tell me, has Israel ever done anything wrong in the world? They're like, yeah, of course. I'm like, what was that? Give me a couple of examples. And they deflected. They went to Hamas and the Houthis and Hezbollah. See how that works? But then this ass clown will say, well, you shouldn't talk on your community. Why can't I? But it's okay if Joe Schmo from Idaho says something about the Jews. You'll have that conversation. But when another Jew calls out my community, nah, not good. That's a bunch of bullshit, man.
Well, they're bullshit people. What do you expect? Anyone who cares about peace in the Middle East, we're looking, prior to October 7th, we're very much looking at Syria. So we're living a time of globalization. The GCC is changing, including Saudi. They want to have international tourism. They want to bring the world there for entertainment and vacationing. I mean, just the world is changing. We don't all want to hate each other. But the Ayatollah wants to play his little puppeteer games. This is the cost of it. And unfortunately, people are going to die.
Well, my whole thought was this, man. Why is, as a Jew, and I'm going to say it, why is the Jewish community, why are we not allowed to speak on them? Right?
Speak on
them. You know, all day. Listen, bro, every day I open up rooms, we talk about the black community, what's going on there, Latino community, what's going on there. But God forbid, another Jew holds the mirror up to the Jewish community. Oh no, he's not really a Jew. He's a self-hating Jew. All these fucking labels. You know what? Fuck that. Because the point I said was this, man. This shit going on in Gaza is 2 years plus now. And we're still at the same point. What's the definition of insanity, Robbie? Doing the same thing over and over, hoping for different results. It's not working. Can we come up with a different plan that works?
There is a plan, though. I think Bibi is doing it, though. I've said this, JB, earlier. You weren't in the room. Whether there is a revolution or not, I'm not moving to Iran. I'm American. I have no benefit from who's gonna be in power in Iran, But if you get rid of the mullahs, if you get rid of these people spreading all this ideology of hating Jews, if you get rid of them, this whole thing will stop. The reason it can't stop is because they keep fueling. They'll be quiet for a little bit. They keep steering this war, and it will not stop until they are in power. And they're doing this with all these countries there. Don't you see, like Teddy? I asked him. I'm like, "Are you Iranian?" He's no, but I support Iran. Luvik, I see Iranian. No, all these people, none of them. Like there's like for every 50 people you see on this app supporting IRGC, one is Iranian. The rest of them are the Muslim brotherhood from other countries surrounding them, and their goal is to just like cause problem. And who's teaching all of this to them? IRGC. You get rid of them, this is gonna die. It's gonna be so weak, and that's why they're like so sad. They don't want IRGC gone.
Well, here's the thing, right? We have Teddy. Hold on, respectful. Hold on. Like Daniel's on stage, right? Daniel and I have shared 1,000 spaces, and here's the truth, no bullshit. I have so much love, respect, and admiration for this man. He's a proud Zionist. Good. But in my opinion, right? A real man, a real Zionist, will stand up and say, wait a second, I support Israel, but there might be a problem in this area over here. Listen, Sarah, I support Israel going into Iran. A year ago, I said there has to be regime change. Nothing's going to stop over there unless there's a regime change. Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, because they're the ones that stirred the pot, the shit stirrers, Iran. But let's not forget about what's the plan in Gaza. What's the plan over there? Nobody has a plan. Daniel?
I don't think there's anyone that criticizes Israel more than Israelis. You can see that most of the articles that are exposing stuff or are like even against Israel would come from Israel, from Haaretz. This whole rape story about this Palestinian with the video, it all came from us. It came to a doctor in the IDF. It was the prosecution in Israel. It was the Israeli TV that broadcast it. We are doing it, and we are and we're doing it not for the world. It's for us to know. Like if someone is, for example, raping in the IDF, the IDF is the people's army. We don't want to have rapists there. So this is why we'll prosecute it, not for the world. So believe me, if there is any other, like you say, maybe there's another solution. If you have it, bring it. Seriously, bring it.
I said it earlier and I'll say it again, and people may not agree with it, Daniel. But I think move the Palestinians out into Egypt, to Sinai, whatever you got to do, clean up Hamas and then move them back in. And I'm not talking about 5-10 years down the road. Because we've decimated Hamas so much, there can't be that many of them left. But this ground and pound situation, and the truth is, Daniel, I don't blame Israel for the starvation that goes on over there, by the way. I blame Hamas. They still have the aid.
Do you remember what they told us, all the pro-Palestinians at the beginning of the war? You cannot kill Hamas. Hamas is an ideology. And that is true. Hamas is the name of an organization. If tomorrow it will break apart and they will call it, I don't know, the peaceful core of Palestine, and same people, same ideology. The problem is not the name or the branding. The problem is the ideology. And if it seems like that we need to fight not only alone, but while the world is also holding both our hands behind our backs and looks at criticizes, and completely ignores the other side. So we're in a not easy, normal situation. Still trying to do our best.
Daniel, how many times have I said you can't kill the ideology? 1,000,000 times on this app? But people are like, no, we got to kill Hamas. Yes, you kill Hamas today, they're all gone. Tonight there's Hamas 2.0 because of the ideology.
Yeah, that's why the objective is to demilitarize Hamas. Basically, if they are with their ideology but no weapons, and then hopefully after the war there could be some kind of a rehabilitation both for the strip and for the people, then yes, there's a chance without weapons.
You can kill Hamas without weapons. I tell you how.
Can I ask
Are you ready to...
What?
Daniel, I have a question. Other than IRGC, who else has been funding and training and helping Hamas the way they've been doing?
Qatar.
JB,
So I'm trying to see if IRGC is gone, what is the next threat? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because honestly,
Maybe Qatar will have to kind of recalculate their allies. And I think some allies of Iran are now watching from the side, like do we want to kind of align with the loser basically, or like kind of pull out? And maybe Qatar will have to kind of make some changes. They put a lot of money into this operation of destroying Israel with the IRGC, so they were like doing the funding of Hamas and doing the propaganda arm in Al Jazeera, and the IRGC did all those terror organizations, like basically building this ring of fire around Israel with all those terror organizations on our border because Iran is too far. That was the plan. And now it's kind of disseminating. And Qatar, propaganda alone, I'm not sure it will work.
Daniel, JB, you guys can kill Hamas without firing a bullet. Are you ready to do it?
Oh, we can't kill Hamas without what?
Without firing a bullet.
We don't need to kill anyone. They need to release the hostages, put their guns down, and it will be over with not a drop of...
No. Wait. All what you need to do is give them equal rights, and then they will be dissolved in the society, just like South Africa, when South Africa dissolved.
Equal what?
Equal rights.
Yeah, I'm comparing.
We just
You give them equal rights in your
Hold
country.
on, everybody mute up. MG, you were going to say something, hon?
No, I was just, don't compare South Africa to Israel. That was real racism. That was real apartheid. I hate when people do that.
Just
It's not
give
even
them,
close.
just give them equal rights. That's it.
So wait, so let's all we're gonna say Hamas is equal to everybody, and just forget about the 1,200 people.
No, not Hamas, not Hamas.
Let me finish, man. Okay, Hamas is the government of the Palestinians right now, unfortunately. So we have to recognize them as equals, even though they slaughtered our people on our land.
No.
That's okay.
They give the
No.
Palestinians, all the Palestinians equal right. Then they will run away from Hamas, and Hamas will be powerful.
Well, let me ask you a question, Sean. Who was providing all the water for the Palestinians and electricity? Was that Hamas or was that Israel? When Israel didn't have to.
Israel is selling them, is not providing, is selling them. Okay, but that doesn't
they're not
mean
paying.
they are giving them equal rights. Well,
They are not Israeli, Sean. I mean, why would we give them equal rights? The Palestinians that chose peace and stayed in Israel in 1948 became part of Israel. And if you look at the Declaration of Israel, in the Declaration of Independence,
okay,
we call to anyone that wishes to stay. Hold on. And now they're equal right citizens as you want.
Okay,
But we are not the government of
Give them
Gaza.
the same
They don't need
rights.
to have equal rights.
okay.
Their governments need to give them. But sweetie, their governments need to do it, not us.
Wait, hold on.
We are
hold
not
on.
the government of Gaza.
Sean, hold on. Did you call him Sweepy, Daniel? Or am I hearing things? All right, let's go to Dave. Dave's trying
No,
to jump.
sweet pea, not sweet pea.
Oh,
That's
I
not
thought
you.
Give me the
That's more.
Sean.
Hold on. Let's go to Dave. Dave, you gotta talk louder.
Yeah, okay. Sean, how do you give the equal right to a population Gaza who have been brainwashed the moment they learn how to speak to kill Jews? How do you give equal right to such people, right? On October 7, 12,000 civilians from this brainwashed Gaza that you want to fight for equal rights so that they can continue to act like a civilian, continue to keep killing Jews, and continue to, after getting equal rights, go to wherever the Western nation and hunt down every single Jew. Is that the equal right you want to fight for, Sean?
Dave, you can create Gaza in every single place in the world by besieging people and
Sean,
not
where you
giving
from,
them
Sean?
rights. You can
Sean,
do
where you
that.
from, Sean?
I am from Syria. Okay.
Okay.
You can do the same. You can do that in New Jersey. You can do that in California and everywhere. If you put the Hispanic people in an area and strip them of their rights, you will have problems. The same thing. It's not magic. It is reality. When people have equal rights, then they have no real motive to fight.
What is
They
a
have equal
people?
rights.
What is a people?
You can create the same problem of Israel and Palestinians in every place in the world, okay?
But Sean, those are two different nations. They can have like. Why? How about, for example,
You
taking
live
the
in the United
Sinai?
States with
No,
nations,
hold on,
with
please,
thousands of people nations.
Sean,
With
if they want to
equal
have their
rights.
own nation, Sean, Israel is our nation. It's our country. Okay, we're not letting anyone equal rights. It's just like you're
Well,
trying to
then
cover something
you
up.
have to suffer
Hold on,
for-
hold on,
until you-
please. Please let me answer. You cannot ask for people that are not citizens of Israel to have equal rights because they are not citizens. Any citizens of Israel, whether they're Christian, Muslim, Jew, Arab, whatever, they have equal rights. So in Israel, we have equal rights. The Palestinians want to have their own state. So if you want a solution, not giving them rights in Israel, giving them rights in their own country, which is what actually was done in Gaza. But maybe give them territory. The Arab world has like good spaces. They can give them the Sinai. I don't know. Preferably more far away from
you're
us.
not telling the truth. You know that you're not telling the truth. You know.
Which part was not true?
Well, this
You
is
know,
not, this is not
Palestinians
a
belong to
disingenuous
Palestine, and
conversation,
Palestine.
Daniel,
Hold
because
on
they
a
know.
second, Sean, listen, I have very few rules in here. But one of the rules is when a lady mod is speaking, we let her speak. Yeah, Benji.
Oh, I'll make this fast. Daniel, this is a very disingenuous conversation because they know that if they become the majority in Israel, it's no longer a Jewish country. And they just don't want Jews in the region. They just don't.
Yeah.
They're so
And
fake. You guys
I'm
are
not sure
so
they know,
liars.
MG.
No, they know.
I think it's always, this entire cause is wrapped with free Palestine and equal rights, and it's all kind of sugar-coated
It
to
sounds
sound
pretty.
like they don't.
Yeah.
Free Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait.
So many people just go along with it. They don't necessarily know the greater plan.
Free
They
Israel.
don't. Hold on. Sean, mute up, please, because I'm tired of hearing your voice, to be honest. Let me say hello to Diablo. Diablo, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, JB? I got a quick thing I wanted to share with everybody in the room and on the stage. I've been trying to figure out for my life, what sense does it make if you don't have missiles coming in trying to kill your citizens to go and attack Iran? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm gonna tell you why it don't make sense. I get the whole thing with we can't let them have nuclear weapons. I understand it. But you got other countries that support Iran in the shadows, like Russia, China. These countries, even North Korea just shocked the world by supporting Russia and sending their troops over there. You have these countries like North Korea that will happily sell Iran a dirty bomb, a nuclear bomb, for the right price. So even if they do destroy the refineries and they can enrich uranium, they still have all this money. It's a country. If they purchase that stuff on the black market, they could get it over there to Israel, and then you have a catastrophe on your hands. It just doesn't make sense. You guys were at peace. I'm talking about Israel. They had a quick little scrimmage. It was over with. Then all of a sudden, Israel is like, what it appears to me is this. We have a kid on the block. He's smaller than everybody, but he has two older brothers that everybody's scared of. And I believe that Netanyahu, however you say his name, he's running with that. He knows America's going to be pulled into this conflict, and he could care less. I really believe he could care less about his own people. And I just land my plane up.
Thank you. Before anybody responds, thank you. Diablo, El Normo, you want to respond?
Yeah. What was the last thing that you wanted me to respond to, Jay?
Diablo, give it your quick, concise question again.
Diablo, give the question, please.
Okay, the question is this: How can the Israeli people put their trust in Netanyahu and feel he's out to protect them when everyone knows you can purchase this stuff on the black market? A country like North Korea, for the right price, it's an old saying, an enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So if they know American soldiers are going to come over there and our military is about to get involved, how would North Korea not give Iran a nuclear weapon?
Let me go. There's a few different levels here. Let's start with the last one. If North Korea gives somebody else a nuclear weapon, they're in serious violation and they're going to get in huge trouble. This is why nuclear weapons don't pass among countries so easily. Number two, the International Atomic Energy Commission on June 9th said that Iran is racing towards a nuclear bomb. They're escalating their enrichment of uranium. It's a serious concern, and they brought it to the UN Security Council, which is a special council that deals with threats to the world. Number three, why do the Israeli people trust Netanyahu? I would say they trust Netanyahu more or less as much as people trust Trump, which is a little bit yes and a little bit no, and it depends on the day. So Netanyahu's done an incredible job in winning a war on 7 fronts. Hezbollah to the north, Yemen to the south, Syria to the east, Hamas to the southwest, Iraq they took out of the equation, if you'll notice already, and now they've had the greatest victory perhaps in military history over Iran. In 2 days they own Iran skies. They're taking out their weapon systems at will. The air defenses are completely gone. So although we knew that we would take some incoming, and we did, I think we're up to about 30 dead in Israel. It was a calculation that he made in order to remove the head of the octopus who's been attacking both the United States and Israel. That is to say, the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide regime. How's that for an answer?
Can I add to it? As, like, why I trust Netanyahu as an Israeli?
The gentleman who asked me the question, I forget your name already. I'm not looking at my phone. Oh, you said
I heard you.
Are you satisfied with it, Diablo?
Yeah, I'm cool.
All right. You have any questions based on what I said?
Can I add to it for a second?
I want to hear if he has any questions so far before we get too deep. Diablo, do you have any questions, criticisms, comments?
No, I'm good. You can let Daniel go ahead.
All right.
So, a few points. First of all, there are 3 objectives to the war. The nuclear program is one of them. There's the ballistic missiles program. There's another one. And I don't know if you saw, they can cause a damage, and they were sending like barrages of like 50 or 100. But if they throw 1,000, they will overwhelm our defense system, and that will create like havoc. And they actually said that they want to do it and kind of wipe Israel off the map. And the third one is that the Quds force is basically the force that is creating all those Houthis and Hezbollah and all those proxies that we have around us to attack us. Now, Netanyahu doesn't make those decisions alone. He's making it with the Mossad and the IDF. Both of them are like the people's organization. They are by the people, for the people. None of them is like, would do something against Israel because of Netanyahu. It's not an autocracy, it's not a dictatorship. It doesn't work like this. It's people that are very professional, and we trust them, We have full trust in them, in the entire professional army that we have, the professional Mossad and the amazing intelligence that we have, and we trust them. Not just Netanyahu. Netanyahu is at the end the one that needs to make the decision, but he cannot just say, I say there's like a atomic bomb ready and let's go. No, it doesn't work like this. It goes the other way around. They give him the information. He just needs to say, I'm doing it on my watch.
Daniel, I just JB, I just want to add, what is really Gaza Palestinian? Are they people? Who are these people from the point of Sunni Islamic nation, from the Shia Islamic nation, right? So actually for them, these people are just weapon, nothing more, weapon. The question is today, Jordan King is in European Union fighting again for two-state solution. The question is why? Because first, the Hamas is one of the tentacle of IRGC, right? And Iran is pretty much close to be potentially replaced, right? So the Sunni Arabic nation, they are celebrating inside now. Finally, we are getting a Shia nation out. The moment the Shia nation came to Iran in 1979, immediately the Sunni Arab nation get nervous. Oh my God, finally a Shia nation coming again. right? They fought them back in 1500 to 1700, but now 1979 they are back again. So because of that, the Sunni nation through Iraq in 1980 to 1988 started Iran-Iraq war. It's all about Sunni Shia. The question people here have to ask, what is next to use Palestine as a weapon from the Sunni perspective, because Shia is gone? What would Sunni want out of Palestine? One thing, to make sure Jewish nation never take over the complete the mountain. What is it? The temple. The Jewish people want to build the third temple, and the question is, if Shia Iran is gone, what is the bargaining power to control Israel so that Islam mosque is remain in that place and to prevent the Jewish build the third temple? Because it's all about religion. Okay, I will go further later and let people think about. Nobody care about those people in Gaza. They are just weapon. Period.
Well, MG, Sarah, Marshall, the other mods, you guys want to keep it open? Because I got to go.
It's up to everybody else. MG, Marshall.
So you insist on keeping Israel as a Jewish state. You don't
Maybe
want
you
it
wanna
to be.
I don't know, Marshall, do you want to keep the room open?
Well,
I
listen,
would, yeah, I'm not going to be paying too close attention.
well, I modded El Normal. He could run it. But Norm, please, for the love of God, let people talk.
Okay, sir.
Thank. All right, guys, I'll catch you.
Who is next? Here's just the thing. I want to set the tone of the room. When we make a point, let's make one point at a time. That's all. And discuss the point, not 12 points. And then if somebody says one thing, then the other person says something else, and we're never really shedding any light on a matter. We can't get to resolution. That said, who would like to go next?
I go next. So the question is, where is Syria in this big picture? Iran will be soon gone, right? And the Jordan, the Sunni nation, trying to lobby for one part of European Western nation, which is Europe, to go against US, and in order to confuse the situation using Palestine, Gaza as a weapon to confusion. The question, where is next? Syria is equally important in the big picture. Sean, do you have anything you want to add to it?
Well, Syria was given to Al Qaeda by United States and Israel. Now it's controlled by Al Qaeda. Israel, thanks to Israel and United States, Al Qaeda now controls Syria.
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead, Alpha.
Good evening, folks. This is interesting. The Middle East is an interesting place. It's funny, if the United States intervenes for the good of the people to remove these bloody regimes, then all of a sudden you are jingoistic, you're trying to destroy our way of life and governance, and if they don't, then all of a sudden you guys have no moral authority, you have no moral compass, you just want to see us perish under these regimes. Then there are the conspiracy theories to ad-lib in the background that there's a big cabal, some Jewish rabbi underground near the Earth's core doing some Kabbalistic magic to control the world. This is the problem with your simplistic and moronic explanations, Sean. Really, this is the problem. This is the problem.
No. You could have given it to some good people, not to Al Qaeda.
Tell me these good people, please, in the Middle East.
No, there are good Syrians. There are good Syrians.
Give me the
There are
good
good
people.
Syrians. There are good
Hey, give me the
Syrians.
good Syrians.
You couldn't find better than Al Qaeda.
Okay, give me the good Syrians. Give me the good Syrian that does not want to destroy the Jewish nation, that does not want to spread pan-Arabism, that does not want to Arabize everybody, and that does not want to control the Middle East. Give me those good Syrians, please.
So you think Al Qaeda is good people, right? Is good people.
No, don't answer a question with a question.
Well,
Give me those good Syrians or those good Iraqis, please.
any non-Islamic terrorists are good.
Like who?
Okay.
Like who? Like who? The Orthodox anti-Semites?
Syria has 30 million people, okay?
The Orthodox anti-Semites?
No. Syria has 30 million people, okay? Those Al-Qaeda and whatever, they are probably constitute about 100,000.
What about the Kurds? Sean, what about the Kurds? Could they have given it to the Kurds?
The Kurds are good, yeah. They're good, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're good, yeah. You could have given it to the Kurds, but you chose not to.
And you
You
think the
insisted
Arabs
on
would
giving
have
it to Al-Qaeda.
and the Arabs would have been fine with that?
We're not fine with Al-Qaeda.
No, the Kurds, they would have been fine with the Kurds in authority.
Well, if they see them acting justifully and honestly, they wouldn't have a problem with that.
You mean the way the Kurds are prospering in North Iraq or South Kurdistan, and how Baghdad is doing everything in its power to block their progress? And the Arab League in support of it? See, this is the problem, Sean. This is the problem.
Well,
No minority has ever been able to thrive in an Arab majority country. Do you know why? Because Arabs have this syndrome that Ibn Khaldun mentioned 800 years ago. You destroy the buildings so that you can take the contents and build your tents with it. That's the problem.
Well, you give Syria to Al-Qaeda, okay? That is a shame.
Wait a second. You said somebody gave Syria to Al Qaeda?
Of course.
How can anybody? Wait, hang on. How can anybody give a country to somebody?
Okay, by supply them with weapons,
Okay.
by
So
supply
what-
them
okay.
with
So-
intelligence, by supply,
Okay.
by
So-
empower them, by have the European
One-
Union
no,
accept them,
one point at a time. One point at a
by
time.
having Trump shake hands with them.
Sir, one point at a time. Okay. So, what happened in Syria? You had a butcher in charge who killed 650,000 Sunni Arabs, a butcher named Bashar al-Assad, who was basically a part of Iran. That happened, yes?
He was not a butcher, okay?
Okay,
He was a
we're
leader.
gonna have, he was a what?
He was a leader.
How many people did he kill?
There was fight with the Islamic terrorists and
Okay,
many
that's
people
not a number.
killed.
That's not
Many-
a number. Okay,
Listen,
you're not gonna
I don't
answer,
have a
Sean.
number, but there
Since
was
you're not
lots
going
of
to answer, Sean, hang on. Since you're not going to answer, I will answer. 650,000. He didn't just butcher them, he cut them into pieces with carpentry tools and tortured them. This is a matter of fact, and he's been doing it for decades. He committed genocide. That's Bashar al-Assad, a tool of Iran. Iran committed genocide in Syria. This is a fact. Now, what is your next point? So Israel eliminated a terrorist army of Iran in Lebanon. And that same terrorist army of Iran, called Hezbollah, was propping up this butcher. This is a question of fact in Syria. And when the terrorist arm of Iran fell, so did Bashar al-Assad. Right? Anything you disagree with?
Well, I disagree with you describing bad words for President Assad.
Okay. So shall we look up now how many people did Bashar Assad kill? Should we look it up together? Let's Google it together. All right? How? Okay.
Well,
we're gonna Google it. How?
There was battles.
No. How many
between the
people
Syrian
did?
government
Let's look it
forces
up. No,
and the
I don't
Islamic
want to
terrorists.
confuse this. No, let's look it up. How many people did Assad kill? Okay, I just put that into Google. All right, hang on. You do the same thing. Don't believe me. Let's look. Let's see what Google says. All right. Okay. Summary of Assad regime's crimes against the Syrian people. All right. Extrajudicial killings. At least 200,000 civilians, including 23,000 children and 12,000 women. Are you with me so far?
Well, who put this information? Or this disinformation? Who put this disinformation?
I just Googled it. Why don't you do the same thing?
Well, Google, the internet full of disinformation. You know
Okay.
that.
Yeah, but do the same thing. Now let's go on. Enforced disappearances. 96,321 enforced disappearances. including 2,329 children and 5,742 women. Deaths due to torture. Are you keeping count here?
Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
15,102 deaths due to torture. This is a lot of people, including 190 children. And
Why would he do that? Why would he do that to his own people?
Okay, that's a good question. Because he's a butcher. Okay, let me keep
No,
going.
he's not a butcher. He's a doctor. He's
Let
a
me keep
physician.
going. Okay, Bashar al-Assad's regime, 81,916,000 barrel bombs, resulting in the deaths of 11,087 civilians.
That's disinformation. You're just quoting disinformation,
No,
okay?
no, sir. What do you mean it's disinformation? I asked you to look it up. Look it up yourself. Don't believe it.
Being on the internet doesn't mean it's true, okay?
Sir, look it up yourself.
And Norman, let me
Okay,
speak.
If it is on the internet, doesn't mean it's true.
I didn't say it's not because it's on the
You
internet,
keep
sir.
saying, and Norman, information is misinformation. So you claim a lot of things. How can we say you are not based on misinformation? Sean? Second thing. The whole thing is all about Sunni and Shia, right? So who is backing Bashar? Shia. And who is Bashar killing, like what Norman say, all these 250,000 or whatever? Sunni. And then what happens?
His wife is a Sunni. His wife is a Sunni.
His wife is a Sunni and he killed 650,000 Sunni and torturing many of them.
And what happened when you start killing Sunni? You create a lot of refugee. What do they go? All in Europe. Okay? So everything
I think
is
there
all
were
about
7 million refugees. But
And for that, Israel has to empower Al-Qaeda to take over
well,
Syria.
no, I don't want to get to Al-Qaeda. I want to get rid of the butcher first, and then we can talk about the next.
Look, we are approaching long-term
Who's the
Middle
butcher?
East plan.
Assad.
Yeah. We are approaching long-term
Assad
Middle
is a
East
physician,
plan.
he's not a
Why?
butcher. He's a
No, sir,
physician,
he's
he's a
a
leader,
He
he's
butchered
not a
those
butcher.
people. He butchered
Okay.
those people.
John, let
Netanyahu
me
is a
speak.
butcher. Netanyahu is...
No, sir.
Yeah.
Netanyahu didn't kill those Syrian
Where do you
people.
get your
Bashar
misinformation
al-Assad
from?
killed those people, sir. Let's not lose
But,
track of the
but
conversation.
Israel has the same problems as other Middle Eastern countries
no,
now.
I don't want to switch over to Israel. We're talking about one person now, Bashar al-Assad, not but Israel. This is not a but Israel.
No.
We're talking about the elimination of a butcher who butchered over 650
I thought Assad fell.
Arabs.
Why is he relevant?
Yeah.
I thought he's gone.
Because we were explaining how we got to the situation in Syria now. That's how.
Yeah. And it's
He
always
felt
Sunni
like, what,
and
a few
Shia.
months ago.
It's always Sunni and Shia. Okay? So right now, Israel finally getting rid of this root of the problem. There is not going to be Shia Islamic nation anymore. There will be only Sunni. Okay? And because of that, no more killing. No more killing.
You
And
think the
sure-
problem is only Shia and not Sunnis? You're saying Sunnis
No,
don't kill
the
anyone?
problem is Sunni and Shia see 1,400 years.
It's just a question. It's just a question.
Yes. I want to
It was
answer
a
you.
disingenuous question. You know he wasn't saying that. You're trying to troll me.
Okay, I apologize. But I just want to ask in a good faith. Okay, do you think that the only problem in the Middle
Nobody
East are
thinks that. Nobody said that. So please don't be disingenuous.
Nobody say that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the conflict between Shia and Sunni since 1,400 years. It's not just Sunni, it's not just Shia. The fact that you have this true faction keep fighting each other since 1,400 years. We have always problem in Middle East, and what they do in modern time is they bring this problem to the West, right? So first they have to train people, brainwash them, and send them to U.S. universities to study, and also put money donation to U.S. universities, so they start training all the anti-Semitic people. The whole idea is they fight each other. Sunni and Shia fight each other, but they don't like to keep this fun among themselves. They spread it to U.S., they spread it to Europe, right? And then keep making sure people like Sean going around keep saying whatever you say are misinformation. I'm the only one speaking the truth. Now we have to learn. There are a lot of people like Sean. They are trained to go around and say your information is misinformation. Whatever you get from Google, ChatGPT are misinformation. We do not trust ChatGPT. We do not trust Google. They are twisting the truth and then keeps crying and crying. Baby are dying, children are dying, until you gave up completely. What is really truth? No truth. As long as you're dealing with them, no truth.
Who's them? Can you point to a nation? This is a genuine question.
I know,
What
but
nation
Iran
is
is
it?
the first one.
Syria
Syria
Okay.
was the second one. Iran and Syria were responsible for hundreds of thousands.
That's a question. Oh my goodness. You said they.
When you are posting
Okay, when you use the term, excuse me, Dave, when you use the word they for me to
Yes,
follow the
I said
conversation, okay, I just asked the clarification. Who's them?
Exactly, but then you put word into my mouth. Say
When?
nation. You should ask the
I
question
asked
in the
which nation. It's a question. Oh my God.
Iran
I did
and
not say
Syria.
nation, but I'm just
Well,
saying
a normal answer.
people.
Okay, he
Yeah,
said
these are
Iran.
people. Potentially, these are Muslim Brotherhood. These are not nation. This could be a certain fraction population of
Right.
Muslim, and this could be 15 to 30%. These are political Muslim and jihadist Muslims.
So
These are not
right.
nations.
So Dave, you're saying that this is something that is trans, like that doesn't belong to specific borders. That it's like a trans global movement, basically. Is that okay?
Yeah,
to say?
trans global movement,
Umma.
which is part of the fraction of the Muslim population. It's like somewhere between 15 maybe to 30%. They are political Islam, radical Islam.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I just think that people are very scared of the concept of nuclear weapons, and Netanyahu's arguing that Iran has nuclear weapons.
Well, they
And
should
I
be
don't think-
afraid of Iran getting a nuclear
Of course.
weapon.
No, but I don't want any place nuked. Not Iran, not Israel,
Well,
not anywhere.
Only one country has threatened to nuke anybody, and that's Iran.
And no, Russia has also has made the
I haven't
claims.
heard Russia say they were going to nuke somebody.
Yeah, they have.
India has
No, when did
Pakistan
they,
too.
wait, when did Russia say they were going to nuke somebody?
They haven't said they'll nuke. Obviously, Putin's not smart enough.
Okay,
like,
so then
he's
only
very
Iran
smart.
has said they're going to nuke somebody, as I said.
And who did they say they'll nuke? Is that Israel?
America and Israel.
Okay. So they are chanting death to America. Now here's the problem.
No,
Normal.
I'm saying that they said they're going to nuke
I know.
America. What's the background going on?
Is it me? Oh, it's
Yeah.
my air conditioner. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's
Okay.
very intrusive.
No, okay, fair enough. But here's the thing, normal, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of Americans, there's a fraction of Americans. This is what I want to try to ask you. There are isolationists who believe we're not involved in the Middle East, so on, and they're rebelling against Trump, and they're arguing that is this a real weapons of mass destruction, or is this fake, like Iraq, where they didn't find weapons? What is your answer to that?
the situation is this. North Korea.
Why are you
trying
even
to-
asking? Wait, Dave, give me a second to address this.
Yeah.
Samia, what is your question?
My question is, are the
America
American
hasn't said
public?
that they're getting involved. Yeah.
No, they're not. But are
I
they?
still can't hear you. You're not near the phone. Would you mind talking into the phone rather than
Okay.
being on the desk and talking from across the room?
Can you hear me better now?
Well, now that you're speaking into the phone, yes.
Okay, thank you. So here's the
Rather than
question.
being on the desk and speaking.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? A lot of Americans that are with Trump believe this isolationist first America argument, which is that we don't want to get involved.
About these Americans.
I wasn't done though, but okay, never mind. Because you're sexist and you don't like to answer questions. Never mind.
I love to answer questions. I just said, what is your question?
Okay, my question is
And why would you call me sensitive?
because.
Probably the least sexist
doesn't
person you've ever
know
met in
no,
your life.
Oh my God, Sarah. Okay, she's coming to clean me out. Okay, move.
Sarah, let me talk.
Okay.
Sarah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, Sarah.
Attack him.
I didn't say you. I said him.
It doesn't
Sarah,
matter.
I want to hear the questions.
No, I can't, normal, because you have your bodyguard here. Okay, thank
No,
you.
I want to hear your question to me. Please say it.
Okay.
the question is that okay, so the American first people are rebelling against Trump. The question is, does Iran has fucking weapons of mass destruction? Yes or no? That's what everyone's scared about.
Iran had weapons of mass destruction.
Or Netanyahu doesn't say
No,
that?
he never said that. No.
No, never. Okay, you're bluffing. No, that's my only question.
You're not being honest. What's your question?
I never said you're dishonest. I'm saying that you were arguing that this is not a. Okay, Netanyahu, who's the leader of Israel, said that Iran is 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from weapons of mass destruction. Yes or no?
He said a nuclear bomb. He said he's enriching uranium, not weapons of mass destruction.
Okay, so a nuclear bomb is not a weapons of mass destruction, no?
Well, it's what you're saying is vague, and I'm being exact. Because weapons of mass destruction was Iraq, I don't know what, 20 years ago.
Normal, you're manipulative. You're manipulative. I'm done.
I'm not manipulative, I'm being precise. I'll tell you what Netanyahu said, and then you can ask the question if you have one. Netanyahu said that Iran is racing towards creating a nuclear bomb, and that the most dangerous country in the world did not have the most dangerous weapon in the world. That's a quote. And the International Atomic Energy Commission agrees. So American intelligence, and Israeli intelligence, and the International Atomic Energy Commission agree. So what's your next question?
And Norman, she's gone.
Every time you answer the question, they run away. Why is that?
No, because her intention is just to create confusion. It's the way they are being brainwashed. They only know how to contribute to confusion.
This is a really disturbing sign.
I know, it's the way how they're being taught, brainwashed. They only know how to contribute confusion. They're not interested in truth. They use this to create TikTok and all this thing to increase their influence status and all this thing. Truth is
the what status? What?
Yeah, I mean they could be doing like TikTok. They could be recording whatever we say to promote themselves. They're not interested about truth. They just want entertainment.
I've spoken to her many times. She was never like this before.
Sorry?
I said I've spoken to her many times. She was never like this before.
Ah, I see. So you know her. Okay.
Very dishonest. I asked the same question of the Palestinians. Now you've been in the room with me, right? Now these are people. Oh, Palestine, occupation, babies, all of this stuff. So I asked the question: which part is occupied? You know what they usually say? All of it. In other words, they wanted to destroy the state of Israel. What?
This pro-Palestine movement is now a lifestyle, right? So it's an interesting lifestyle. If you're Hollywood, you say pro-Palestine, you get business, you get to play in a movie and all this thing. And anyone who stand up and say, I'm not pro-Palestine, they are kicked out of Hollywood. It's just a lifestyle.
I say, which part is occupied? They think all of it. Maybe you were there. I said, really? What else is New York occupied? Yes. How about the Vatican? Is the Vatican occupied? Yes. Then I say the other question. When did this land become yours? Since when was it ever your land? And you know what, Dave? They never, ever have an answer. You want to know why? Because they know very well it was never their land. They're just lying. They know it. If you ask them a direct question...
The most interesting part is like recently, right? Somebody create a movement, right? So people from Europe, people from Canada, US, they all come to Egypt with the aim to try to get to Gaza, right? And try to with their presence, just like greater. Yeah. If you hear how they talk to a group of Egyptian soldier standing as a line blocking them. This guy was just keep saying everything that a typical pro-Palestine was talking. People are crying, children are dying, people are starving. They were talking and shouting, right? The Egyptian soldier not moving at all. They cannot imagine that they are here now as a Westerner, and they are talking something that are going to make the Arab people, very proud, but they end up facing all kind of fight back, by the Badoon and all these people. You see, they are completely living in a total different world. They believe the fact that by having Westerner fighting for equal right, like what this guy was saying, Sean, if you give equal right to Palestine, everything will be okay. These people, Westerner coming to Egypt, we are fighting for equal right, and they never even imagine once that there will be a fight back from the Egyptian people. They never imagined this is possible, because in their world, this is never going to be possible. They are living in a whole different world completely. That's why they can keep saying all kind of nonsense. They're not living in reality.
You're right, Dave. You're not living in reality. So that's something with these guys. Say to them, when did that land become yours? I know the Ottoman Empire had it, and I know then the British Mandate offered to give you a country, and you said no, and Israel said yes. So when does it become your land?
And Norman, the big problem is, how is it possible that this non-reality information could mobilize so many Westerner? Jordanian king now is preaching the same thing today to European Union Parliament. It's doing right now. So the question is, they understood.
What does he say?
They say we need to look into Gaza. That he's hoping to pitch for the two-state solution, right? So the last time he came to Europe was in Germany. Today he went into European Parliament. The question is, they believe Westerners are stupid. There are certain percentage of Westerners are stupid. You can tell them all kind of shit. Just keep singing the song "Equal Right," just like Sion doing. Equal right is very popular. You say equal right.
Who is Sion?
The guy just now, Sean just now with us.
Sean.
Yeah. So that's
you
what
tell him that Assad killed 650,000
No,
people.
the whole thing is not. The problem is Westerner. Sean, try again here. Equal right. You give equal right to Gaza, there will be no more fighting. There will be okay. And then Sarah say, yeah, it will be okay until they keep reproduce until Israel become an Arab nation, right? So they believe you can misinform the Westerner, and those people like Greta coming with this boat, and then this group of Westerner gather through social media from different part of Europe and Canada and US, gather Egypt, they all can be easily fooled, and that's why the IRGC call them the very good useful idiot from the Western nation, and they still don't realize. It's amazing.
I thought Samia was a good faith, arguer, a good faith talker until just now. She obviously just talking nonsense. If I say one thing, she says something else. If I say Bashar al-Assad, she goes, yeah. If I say, when did it become their land? She goes, well, the settlements, the West Bank. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's a bunch of lies and nonsense.
It's also the way she posed the question. She could putting word into your mouth. She could coming up with misinformation as her opening statement and question. So this is the way. And
she said, I'm a bodyguard. I heard a bodyguard. I want to hear from her. Then she says it's my bodyguard. Because she just wants to throw the whole conversation off track.
It's always like that, right? If you speak to them, yeah, they try to change the topic every 1-2 sentence, so that you never can track how many misinformation they say squeeze in within 1, 2, 3 sentences. This is their technique.
You heard them. You got it. That's exactly it.
Yeah, and what the Jewish people have to do, which we have get better and better, not to keep like they're taking the carrot. Look, within one sentence I have 3 carrots. Next sentence I have 3 different carrots, and then the Jewish people were busy tracking each carrot and debate, and then they keep spinning off
It's a
more
picture of
camera.
my
That's
cell
their technique.
phone's recording a
You're
phone.
absolutely right. And I just said that's why I said let's go one point at a time and talk about
Exactly.
it. You say genocide, let's
What,
talk about it.
are we all just cell phones now? I mean, nobody really lives in real lives anymore.
This
Everybody
only
just looks at
works
their
in a
fucking
very
cell phone
well
all day, right?
structured clubhouse room, like Gary's room, Uncle Steve's room. Very
That's right. I'm the only one looking at my own work.
And
Or you can be like me. I'm willing to fight.
I am
fight them all day
psyoping the
long, but it's,
psyop.
they eventually they run away from me. I say, you want to talk genocide?
Currently,
Okay.
I'm recording El Normo and
Let's see if
Dave
it's genocide.
talking
No, they
about
want-
genocide.
Well, then they want to talk about it. You think it's apartheid? What's the definition of apartheid? Then they change the subject again. Now they're going to say Balfour Declaration. I said,
Don't
okay,
you
let's
know
talk
this is
about
all
the
just
Balfour
one
Declaration.
psychological
Then they change the
observational
subject
study to detect neuroticism?
That's the how they were
This
trained.
room, that room, does it matter?
Once you start listening to them, once you start following them, and
It's all
sometimes you're in a certain
linear.
room where the senior members start training the junior member. This is how you do it. This is now we brainstorm.
Where's this guy from?
Brainstorm
South
the next
Korea?
round of deception. This is how they're doing it. They keep coming back and they throw you all
Listening
kind
to
of
Dave talk
carrots
to El
and see how
Normo.
you'll respond, and they
Don't you
gather
know
this
Dave?
information and go back. Let's brainstorm for the
He
next
thinks the
round.
Jews want
right?
to build a
So,
temple.
and if whatever work, they use it in real
I
life.
said Andrew
They
Meyer's
use it
gonna
in Europe. They
be the
use it
lead
in
digger.
the US. They use it in Canada.
Don't you know
So-
McZed's gonna be
so
the high
you
priest?
are the good
They all
way
want
for
a
them
jobs
to
program
generate
at the
new
temple
leads.
in Jerusalem.
Misinform others. You understand? No, Norman. That's how they work.
They're giving you a migraine or something? Aren't you supposed to be Neo from the Matrix?
I don't think they have any answer to the way that I.
No,
Daniel or me, we don't
You
take
have
it.
the N-word Tourette
They have no
syndrome.
defense.
Have you
They
told
have
your
no defense,
therapist
but
about
they-
your
they only-
N-word Tourette
but they have no
syndrome?
defense against you, but you are
I'm
just
asking
one
you
of
a
billions of
question.
people.
How
There are many
how many
stupid
times
people
a
out
day do
there
you say
which
the
are totally
N-word?
defenseless with their misinformation. You get it?
Yeah. Miss and dish.
Yeah. So the question now is are we now making progress? Yes. Why? Once we finally get rid of Shia elite nation like Iran, IRGC, we return democracy back to 85% of Iranian people who truly want their country back, right? Then this removes the fundamental root of problem that always impact Middle East since 1,400 years. The fight between Shiite and Sunni. Yeah, and this fight prevent peace in Middle East. Without peace in Middle East, Europe cannot solve its migration politics. Without Europe solving the migration politics, each of European nation, the 2026, actually maybe half of it, because the Eastern European, they're willing to pay money than to take in any Muslim, right? And so it's the other half. Many of the nations are divided to one part, let's say no more immigration. The other part totally still living in la la land, right? So that's all. We are making progress, and we just have to understand their strategy. What is their end game? And the end game is very close now. So we are making good progress. And also today,
Do you believe the military efficient for not a single country in this world? They just started a major nuclear reaction from everything. It's unbelievable. They were a paper tiger.
Well, Norman.
These people can't fight. They can't fight, Dave. This is what's unbelievable.
No, and Norman, the other thing is, how could 200 missile first day, second day 100, right? And then the third day went down to 35. First, they shoot a lot of missile, and who protected the people in Israel from having like 300 over missile and still less than 30 people die, right? So that is another miracle. That is actually worth talking about. That is a miracle.
What, that we took out the missile batteries so that there's fewer and fewer missiles to fire?
No, that is one point, but the point is 300 over missile came over 2-3 days. Very few people died. That is a miracle.
Right.
That should be
30
celebrated.
people, yeah.
Yeah, that should be celebrated.
Is it
right?
300 missiles?
I think first day was 200, and then the IDF keep taking down all the launchers. By second day, they can only at one time launch 100. I think by the third day, they can only launch one time 35 or something like that. So the IDF keep taking down the launcher, and Iranian IRGC claim some people think they have up to 2,000. So launcher is the limiting factor. If take down the launcher, even though they have a lot of missile, they can't shoot many at one time, and that is exactly how you save life in Israel.
Thank you for being on our side. I really thank God for you.
El Normo, what's it like being, such a unique individual? Because you do have a lot of history inside of your memory. And when you talk to people on this app, I mean, they demand things of you, but they don't give the things that they demand of you. So it's like, has your life always been like this, or is it a new thing?
I mean, what are you saying? How do I answer their bullshit with honest truth? Is that what are you saying exactly?
I guess yeah. What I'm saying is like,
I hate lies. I hate it. I hate people lying, and I hate it. I hate the fact that people are so brainwashed, and I hate the fact that people they want to kill Jews. I can't. It's just really upsetting to me. And the whole liberal idea is I'm going to let you live, you're going to let me live, let's live together and make a nice life. And America did that, and now they want to tear it down. And I want them to see that this is what they're doing. They're using our humanity as a weapon against us with all that baby stuff. The babies. I mean, they know that Israel isn't killing babies. What does that mean, killing babies? Give me a break. Arden, why are you saying that? My Jewish friends say I'm not an artist? That's not true. Their Jewish friends are in this room.
Well, I don't know. I think you just have like a great gift for this type of, I guess, combat, you could call it, linguistic combat on here. You truly are like a gem, because when your light really activates, when you see all the attack, you're basically Tel Aviv. Everyone on here is a rocket launching at you. And so it is like candle to the moth, the moth to the candles. I mean, you're the light. So what I don't understand is like, it has to be psychological, meaning people are so polarized with politics, talking about it, reading about it, having their biased opinions, but also they're not dealing with their personal problems. So like that's a reason why a lot of this is happening, on this app, meaning the communication exchange on here is a deficiency in their personal lives. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here in the first place. I mean, some people, maybe are in a position to be here, but how can this type of communication be fruitful for most of the incoming rockets towards you? It's not. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just observing and trying to come up with some at least communication theories, sociological theories, psychological theories, therapeutic theories.
El Norman? Are you still there, El Norman?
Oh, I was talking. Thank you for the nice thing. I forgot to unmute. I'm like multitasking times 10. Thank you for the nice things you said, John. And, I appreciate the way you're trying to understand what's going on in the world with communication theory and with Jewish theology. And are you impressed that I went ahead and bought that book that you recommended, the Tanya book?
Yeah, it's a good book. It's a very, yeah, it's, I just see so many overlays really between all world religions. And if, religion is politics though, because once you become a gift of the gabber, even with, the word or this type of spiritual intelligence, I don't know. To me, it kind of depoliticizes me, and then sometimes I become hyper politicized. Like, it is a polarization thing. I mean, but I want to always be in the middle. I want to be balanced and have equilibrium, because you can't really win any kind of games if you're in a state of disequilibrium.
And Norman and John, I just want to share that U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, sent a long text messages to Trump, and Trump shared that messages publicly. I urge you all to take a look. It's very well written.
Who is this? Huckabee said what?
The ambassador of U.S. to Israel sent a long message to Trump, right? Because he understands Trump now has to make a decision, and the message was written very nicely, very well, and urging Trump to listen to him with a capital H-I-M, him.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now I get it.
Yeah, please read that. It's very nice. And anybody who want long-term Middle East peace plan to come through, pray that him would give a right guidance to Trump, so he would be more decisive what to do next. Because the G7 at the G7, right? Macron is pushing for a ceasefire, and then I think Gary also said that today in his critical thinking forum, that Trump in the Air Force One telling people, no, he did not agree with the ceasefire. So there's a lot of misinformation going on among the political leader who attended the G7, right? So and that add additional layer to Trump to think. First, there are people in US what they think. First, then there are political leader from Europe what they think, and then the actual need what is going on in Israel and Iran, and the big picture of Middle East. So there's a lot of burden on him, and that message from Mike Huckabee summarized honestly. He said, "Since Truman, no president has to face this kind of burden." Okay, and Norman, please go and check out the text.
Oh, and the question is whether the U.S. jump in.
I think there's a lot of confusion. A lot of Americans who are here keep saying that, they worry U.S. will be involved. There are many rooms here in Clubhouse. They worry U.S. be involved. The question is, nobody know what involved mean. Actually, from the Israeli side, please give us the bomb, Moab, right? The one that can penetrate through, and the rest we take care. There's no army needed from U.S. on foot in Iran, and also I think IDF do not plan to have foot soldier in Iran. They might have some operated, but not the foot soldier. Most of the foot soldier are in Gaza, right? So people are confused. Everything is confused. People don't care about what is the truth, or maybe there are very few people is able to clear the fog of deception. So basically, U.S. involvement is just defense, helping all the missile coming in, shoot that down. Right? U.S. involved in refueling of the aircraft of IDF. That's it. And the last request is, please give us the bomb, yeah, to just destroy completely the nuclear facility, and that's it. The IDF can do the rest. If IDF were to do it alone, they have to keep hitting the place over 2-3 weeks. and it will take forever because it's too deep, the place, some of the bunker. Yeah, that's all, nothing more. And that for Trump to make that decision is in alignment with the G7 member. No nuclear weapon allowed in Iran. So Trump just have to approve, sending of this weapon to destroy all nuclear facility, and then that's it, nothing more. And the rest IDF can handle. Yeah, and people just have to understand. People are confused. Oh, they're going to be foot soldier in Iran. America is going to involve, blah, blah. No. Everything can be do it in a very discreet way.
What's up, Norm?
What are you doing? Did Dave leave?
I don't know, there's Paul or John here.
Okay. Because I modded him in case I wanted to look in the other room.
Hey, there's a John Paul joke there. I'm not crafty enough to make it.
Well, it's good that you saw it. I'm going to look around and I'll come back.
All right, Norm.
Okay, Marshall.
So, Marshall, do you think the United States should continue sending weapons and money and military support to Israel? Marshall kicked me.
Zero.
Yeah, exactly. He lives in fucking Australia. Like, I doubt it. But, whatever. I'm not going to take that away from him. So if that's what he says, that's what he says.
What's up, John?
What up? Don't you think it's a little ridiculous that people will die on a hill on this app, but yet they don't even live in these areas? They're not impacted by it whatsoever, but they believe that their opinions are 100% correct and that they're infallible. To me, it's so hypocritical and so mentally insane to come on here and project so much all the time when you're not even living there, you're not even impacted, you have no skin in the game, but yet they believe they're 100% correct. It's cringe. And, it's Clown House. Like, yeah, I'm here too. So are you. But let's admit it. Like, this is Clown House and it's for schmucks.
What happened? You were in a room? Another room?
No, I've been recording Jay Bresca all day long, the super Jew of Clown House.
Going all day?
Yeah, you didn't know he's king of the Jews now.
Bro, that guy's so fucking annoying, bro.
He's a felon and a pimp, and now he's Jewish all of a sudden. Everything is my people, my people, my people.
Who is it? JB. Who is JB?
He's the Sicilian mafioso pimp from Brooklyn who claims that, the Jews are my people.
He's the Sicilian mafioso pimp from Brooklyn who claims that, the Jews are...
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody wants to be Joe Rogan or Oprah or Candace Owens. Candace Owens is the new Oprah. And, But anyways, that's the thing is people are chasing clout or some type of content business or something. But, it's pathetic. I mean, it's so stupid. This is trash TV gossip, essentially, on this app.
It's all for clout, bro. That's what it is at the end of the day. Like that con man mentality for clout. And bro, you know what he does is he uses this shit like I should have never did this shit back when Shomi was still a hostage. But we were raising money for him, and he's like, I'll do a room for him, and I'll get people to donate to the GoFundMe for him, and everything like that. So he did a room. He raised like $1,000 in one room, pretty much, and he uses that like as leverage now. Like, I raised money for the hostages in Israel. I did so much, blah 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 blah. Like he said that shit today, bro, in that room. I'm like, dude, that shit makes me cringe when I hear that. It's like that you don't do that to make it like clout on yourself, bro. You do that because out of your heart, like as a good person. The fuck is that shit, bro?
Well, there's not a speck of dust out of place. I mean, again, I think this is like a psychiatric holding facility for people. So, again, you don't even know who you're talking to on this app. You don't know anything about these people, but because of language, you develop these relationships. But again, this is all such a huge waste of time that people come here and keep feeding all this data into this app, getting nothing in return. And he likes to say that's the definition of insanity. If you keep repeating yourself, well, what do you think everybody's doing here? Everybody's repeating themselves.
Those rooms are just shit shows, bro. Just people bashing at each other the whole fucking time. That's all it is.
It's a pot of shit, and you just stir it, and you stir it, and you keep turning and spinning that shit in that pot. You just keep rotating, and every day it's the same fucking pot of shit that they just keep rotating every day.
It literally is every fucking day almost.
Oh, Johnny boy.
Why are you going so hard on the Muslims now? Jeez, like, why are you going so hard on all the Muslims?
Who said that?
I think Princessia said that to me because Sam had a room where he was going through all these hadiths, and there's this one guy on this app who's a lot like Sunan Abi here, who also knows all the racy hadiths.
How dare you compare anybody to me? Go ahead.
So what's so funny is even in Islam, there's like gossip. In these hadiths, it's essentially like the scandal mag for Muslims back in the day, where they're like, "Did you read about this hadith? Oh, you'll never believe how scandalous this one is." Like they have their own inside jokes, I believe, but they happen to all be like pedophile and faggot jokes. So that's the funny secret thing about Islam, is that they also have their own like internal shame and jokes, and whether it's real or not, I don't know. But once you hear it, you're like, how could that be? Like, that's real. Like, and it's considered part of their scripture, their program. So it's like,
I'm just saying, if I were to become a Muslim, I would not be a Sunni Muslim because the Shias are right. Because the Shias are like, look how bad all the fucking Sahabas and fucking Aisha talked about Muhammad. Like, she literally calls him a pedophile and a rapist and a piece of shit, and then he died by poison. I mean, like, if I was going to be a Muslim, I'd be like, wait a minute, like, why are we Sunni? Why are we following all these people that talk shit about Muhammad? Oh, that's because Muhammad was a piece of shit, that's why.
So wait, you're saying the Shias donk and shit test the Sunnis by actually exposing their own scripture to them, and the Shias are separate because of the familiar divide, whatever it is, the cousin or the uncle, whatever the fuck it is.
Yep. They made up their own hadith thing. Don't have Muhammad sucking off his grandson or dying of poison or Aisha getting fucked by some dude, obviously, and showing back up at the man camp, and everybody, the whole entire city's like, oh, Aisha just showed up with some random guy. Because they were going across country or shit. And she stayed behind, and some young dude, strapping 25-year-old dude, rode her on a fucking horse all the way back to the city. And everybody's like, she's not allowed to be alone with that guy. Obviously, they were doing something. And had to be two witnesses, and there was two witnesses. And then Muhammad wakes up the next morning, and he's like, oh, Allah said there has to be 4 witnesses. Also, you can't say anything bad about Aisha. So they're like, yeah, we can't kill her, sorry.
Have you seen that YouTube channel where it's like the 3D graphics and it takes all the stories from the glorious Quran and the history of Muhammad and puts it into a very slow, crappy video, but nonetheless you're just like, I can't believe this is what people actually read and believe and memorize and think about all the time. It's like, this is insane, like, and stupid, and I can't believe it.
Yeah.
But that's how people, run their lives, I guess, in this part of the world.
And Sunni Islam, they have a hadith in the story about Muhammad where he goes out in the desert, takes his companion, writes a circle around him, and then he says, "Stay here and do not leave the circle, or you shall surely die." And then he goes off like a stone's throw away, and these 8 Al-Zut guys from like the South Persian whatever region down by the sea, and they're all like 6'4" fucking black Indian dudes with these giant fucking hog dicks that could just like fuck for hours, and they just ride Muhammad all fucking night. And then they come over to the circle, and for some reason they can't go inside the circle, but they're trying to like grab his companion, and he's like sitting down and hiding his ass. And then after they get done riding Muhammad all night, then Muhammad crawls over to his companion and lays his head down in his fucking lap.
Do you think it's metaphor though?
Yeah. No, so what they do is they say, "Oh, these Al-Zut men were not really men. They were really jinn. They were really demons. And the demons, they were torturing him. They were being mean to him and messing with him all night." So that's why he comes over all weak and like his butt's hurting and he's crying about his ass hurting and complaining about how they rode him all night and shit. Like, no, it's clearly 8 fucking black dudes ran a train on Muhammad, and then he comes over and the other dude's like getting cucked in the circle.
Well, I ask if it's metaphor because you can never actually have a conversation with a Muslim and say, "Isn't it a metaphor?" Or is it like a symbol for something, or these big donkey dick jinns? I mean, like, is there a mystical interpretation, or is it literal? And they'll say, "No, it is literal," and you're just like, like the thing is, it doesn't make me question other faiths or religions. It just is. It says to me that this is like the lowest quality religion of the 4 world religions. It's a little bit like going to Malcolm X Technical College on the South Side versus going to like Princeton. There's a quality of education there which is lacking.
Apparently there was a 4.2 magnitude earthquake in Iran. People are saying it could be a nuclear bomb test. I don't believe it though. I don't believe it because like it shows on the USGS website 51 kilometers southeast of Borajan. Why would they do it 51 kilometers outside of a major city? Like, that would make no fucking sense. So is that room finally done?
No, Marshall is holding it down. Marshall Stankin Rankin. He kicked me out at the very end. I asked him if he believes that the U.S. should continue sending weapons and money to Israel, and he kicked me immediately. But the thing about fake news is it really is so real that there's a lot of fake news created on both sides. But to me, like, to even watch the news now is like coming to Clown House because you realize it's all a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're going on the app for, right? I mean, if you're going into those rooms, then yeah, our group, we're friends. We come in here, we talk, catch up, and then we talk about what's going on and update each other, which I think is a lot more informative. But to go into those fucking rooms where it's just like the JB show or whoever else is leading the show, it's really pointless.
Well, it's a little bit like a psychological observational study where when you listen to them and you record, especially the terrorist supporters like Edward and Amir, I mean, I think there's real world consequences for a lot of the things they're saying because they are making a lot of extremist racist comments about Jews, about Indians, and then spreading propaganda. So it's like, if you wanted to call the FBI or Department of Homeland Security at 188, 555 FBI or whatever, and like report them, and get their location and provide them videos and say, is this legal? Because they did pass legislation, I think, restricting some of this type of online hate speech. So it's just a question of, are people willing to actually,
Where do you think he's been? Where's Cynic been? I haven't seen him in a while. Have you seen him?
Well, I reported him like 2 weeks ago, and he came back with a new party hat, and I asked him if he liked his new party hat. And I said, I'm sure you'll have another one. And, also Resistance. I haven't seen him, either.
I
And
saw him today.
you did? Oh, no.
He came into our room, yeah.
Did he have a party hat or no?
No. No, I'm talking
Damn.
about to the FBI, bro. I think Cynic has already been reported by some people on this app, bro. So I'm just wondering, like, has he actually been on the app again after getting that new account? Because I remember seeing it was a Hamas. His name was Hamas, but I haven't seen him in a while. Usually he's been he's pretty active,
The funniest thing is, if you could like get him on the phone or something, he'd be like, "Man, I'm done going on Clown House and debating with those clowns. It's a waste of my time and my effort and my intellect. It's below me, man. I'm done with it, man." Hello, ma'am. What's wrong with your laptop? How can I help you today? My name is Nick Mikhail.
Oh shit, man.
Can I put a Free Palestine sticker on your laptop?
It'll help the cause.
Where was the jiu-jitsu championship? Oh wow, Italy. Wow, so he had to get the medal in secret. That's cool. But yeah, to think that Iran isn't going to have earthquakes, I mean, it's like Los Angeles. They have an earthquake every fucking day,
Yeah, no, for sure. It's very common there.
Did you?
Also, I think that after those bombings that Israel do, it just rush it up.
Yeah, it's like scratching a zit. Now it's all infected. Do you remember when Turkey had those earthquakes and those like 13-story, concrete buildings just pancaked on each other? Do you remember that devastation? That was wild. I mean, that's fucked up. Like, you realize it's not safe to build, concrete skyscrapers in earthquake zones. They just crumble.
Yeah, they should have learned from the Japanese.
Well, that would require intelligence and additional, engineering feats and capabilities that the average, concrete pourer does not have.
Oh, man.
I don't know, everybody on this app, it's like this war will go down as like another huge turnover on this app, meaning like the Trump election leading, like this is like the another major world event where everybody on this app has the wrong take and they always end up being dead wrong completely, and they have to eat it, and then they just keep going on like it never happened, and there's some new topic. This truly is like a pot of shit, and it does it like every single day. There's just a new news event to drop in the turds with everybody here.
But I'm sorry, what's new about that? Like,
exactly.
That's the all the time. All the liberal, all the Democrats, all the lefties. It's the same exact show.
I know. I wonder like, but the thing is, they create a new show every single week, every single month, and so they determine the programming of the show in a way. But they just always get refuted because the truth is strength and power is what rules our reality, not these effeminate men on this app that run around screaming about the Jews. And have you been in Edward's room? Have you heard that one guy, the trans guy, who says, I'm in a bunker in Tel Aviv"? Have you heard that guy?
No.
It's not me. It's not me, but it is a very funny voice. It's some man who pretends to be pro-Palestine, and he does a trans voice. But Edward and Amir, they don't care. They just let him go, and they call everybody else, a faggot. But, anyways, they are, they are big organizers of hate speech on this app.
Hell yeah, they are. Also that guy Jack, bro, he's a fucking big piece of shit.
Yeah, he lives here in Chicago. He's like, you want to meet up and go to the protest? I was like,
really? He said that to you?
thinking like, man, he'll shoot me, dump me in the river, let alone, why do I want to go hang out with you? I can come on here and talk to you 7 days a week. What the fuck?
Want to go grab a deep dish, bro?
I don't know. This is all political, and it's unfortunate that everything is political, including war, but this is politics and it's war at the same time. So, it's going to have a political solution and a de-escalation. And I think Iran has been proven, to be, the point is they eliminated so much of the leadership that it's like without a functioning brain, to issue all the commands, all the plebe soldiers are just in utter shock and dismay. So it's like putting a nail in the snake of a head, in the head of a snake, and the snake is still alive, but it's like it's got brain damage now,
It's still wiggling, yeah.
But the point is, the snake has been rendered. It's not coming back. It's not coming back from the injury. You know what I'm saying? It's like only a matter of time now before the snake dies.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing now, for sure. Like, first it was 200 rockets at one time, and now they're sending, like...
Yeah. Y'all did see in the last, 2.5 hours that Iran, attacked U.S. in Iraq. They went after our consulate, and they went after Arifjan. We had to shoot down 2 different drones. So Iran's actively attacking U.S. straight, no proxy, no nothing, straight from them. So
where did you get that report at?
That just happened in the last 2 hours.
Yeah, but where did you see the report of it?
Yeah, I saw the same thing.
Yeah.
They said they intercepted him.
But they're literally coming after America. They want to pull us into this.
They're so stupid, bro, if they do that shit.
Well, if they done that, I think the decision's probably being made right in D.C. right now to kick it into gear. He warned that guy.
Why do you think we got a second aircraft fleet coming into the Middle East?
Did you read the Huckabee letter? How he says, how you were spared on September whatever when they tried to assassinate Trump? Like, in the very first sentence, I was like, whoa, here we go. What did Mike Huckabee write? Did you see what Trump posted? He posted the whole text message.
Michael.
So there's there's one aircraft carrier station at Diego Garcia. Then there's a second one that was coming up through the strait there in Malaysia, and then a third one just left out of Virginia, the George H. Herbert Walker Bush or whatever, or George Herbert Walker Bush.
Yeah, the Nemesis class one. Yeah.
Well, the Nemesis class one's coming through Malaysia. I don't know what the George is. The Nimitz also the George Herbert Walker.
I thought it was. I might be wrong, but I mean, you can double check.
People.
Yeah,
it's a moot point, but the point is that how many you got 2 submarines, how many frigates, how many destroyers, how many battleships, per fleet.
There was 30 strata tankers that left out of the United States and headed to Europe yesterday. They got there yesterday, and they had the WC-135, the nuke sniffer, out running training exercises over Nebraska.
Listen, we represent the people.
Yeah, it's gonna get down like Charlie Brown. The fact that they fucking fired at Arifjan, that I kind of get the Arifjan. It's a base in western Iraq. to U.S.
So they fire at a base and a consulate, is what you're saying?
You know that we keep like 2,500 U.S. soldiers in Iraq as like an anti-ISIS, like, you know,
deterrent.
Yeah. So yeah, they're firing on U.S. installations, and we already had like 3 soldiers die last year. We don't want no more of this shit. So don't fuck with our boats and don't fuck with our people.
I just want to know where the fuck did you get the report, bro? Because I need to see that shit, bro. That's important, bro.
Google it.
Do you know who Keegan Duncan is?
No.
Look him up on YouTube. He's a U.S. military. He's in the military. He's got access to all the like intel. He's been doing like reports of like what's been going on militarily around the world for like probably like 2 years on Clubhouse, or on YouTube. But like you can look up his latest one. It was probably maybe like 45 minutes ago, and he's showing you video from like maybe 2 hours ago of actual footage of the drones being knocked down.
The thing is, I heard that they attacked like a base in Erbil. Like it was either yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that. But I don't know. I didn't hear about anything today, so that's the first time I'm hearing something.
Well, I just found out about it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, you can Google it. Have you Googled things recently? It's called Google.
Who, me?
I know people just like to use their lips and tongues here and not actually use their thumbs anymore, but
I don't like Googling is whatever, bro.
Matt put together a killer room the other day, dude. That Dr. Adams is fucking hilarious.
What's up, Matt? Yeah, he is fucking funny.
What's up, Harry? Let's go.
Damn, bro. Well, I hope they did attack. I hope that is true, because, you know, the United States will literally fucking put an end to this in probably like 24 hours, if not less than that.
Yeah, we don't want to, but we will.
Fuck it, what does it take? A couple of fucking bombers? What's gonna, you know, all their air defenses are down. Nothing's gonna happen.
Right. When we invaded Iraq in 2003, we hit every water station, every power station, every infrastructure. Like, we had their whole fucking country shut down in less than 24 hours. They were just stuck like Chuck Stone Age style. Like,
that was how many years ago? 22 years ago, man?
You can't look at the flaws in our community and as men.
Couple bucket buster bombs and that's it, bro. They're gonna be with the white flags.
You need to understand, Harry. Those buster bomb need to be tested. They did not get tested yet.
In war, you're saying?
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. You're telling me we've never dropped a 30,000-pound...
Trump dropped a Moab his first day in office on Afghanistan. Remember that?
Well, Moab's different than the MLP.
Well, massive ordnance.
They've never been... wow.
Those really been tested, and that's why Trump said all the time that America has the back of Israel, because that was the best opportunity to test that bomb on live.
Well, I mean, the bomb has been tested. It just hasn't been used in theater. I think that's what you mean.
That's what he means, yeah. Battle proven, I guess.
No, it's bad, yeah, but it's been rigorously tested.
Right, for sure. Let me understand. Which nuclear America ever bombed?
Nagasaki, Hiroshima?
And then they have the
Bikini Islands?
No, he means like a nuclear facility, he means. That's what he means. Not like nuclear bomb.
Where did they have to test it? Which country America attacked lately? You know that bombs also
to Ukraine.
And what the plane has to do with a bomb like that?
They wouldn't be able to carry it. They don't have the planes to carry it. I think they only can be on the B-2.
You need to think before you talk.
Actually, they've retrofitted the B1 to be able to handle one of them. The B2 can handle two of them.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I mean, but the idea that you could have 60,000 pounds worth of bombs underneath your plane and take off is crazy.
70,000, not 60.
It's fucking really crazy.
They're 30,000 pound bombs. What are they, 35,000 pound bombs now?
Yeah, but the B2 can carry 70,000 pounds.
I was just talking about the two. I didn't need to add in the extra payload. I'd rather add fuel.
Well, in cases like that, every extra pound, it's more than welcome.
More than welcome to do what?
Carry more.
Listen, I'm already talking to investors that are looking to start a chain of med spas in Iran as soon as the government falls, because we are going to introduce electric hair removal or laser hair removal for the first time in one of the hairiest countries on the planet. And we think the market cap could go from like 100 million to $1 billion overnight.
Holy shit, dude. I was out of fucking nowhere, but that was hilarious.
He's like, we're gonna make a killing on aesthetics over here. That's a hairy fucking country. You know what I'm saying?
Has anybody looked at what the currency in Iran has been doing over the past 7 days?
No.
Let me get you a Forex quote.
It's not looking good.
I was looking at the Syrian dinar before the government fell, and now their dinars are worthless, but there was a point, where it was like at 10 cents on the dollar, and then it fell to literally like 1/100th of a dollar. But people trade the Forex on this shit. This is why currency exchange is actually currency trading is actually the biggest marketplace in the world.
Wouldn't that be a penny?
Let's look at Iranian currency calculator.
0.01.
Oh my God! 1 Iranian rial equals point, then 4 zeros at 10, 100,000, 10,000. You get for $1 you get 1/240,000th of a dollar. So it has dropped from basically point quadruple 02 to point quadruple O like 1 or 2. Yeah. Anyways, it can't go any lower. Holy shit! It has plummeted.
In a minute, you're gonna need to pay you to hold it.
When I was in Iraq, I'd give this kid, I'd give him $5 and he'd hand me a stack like I was a fucking big baller worth of like Iraqi dinari. And like I couldn't find toilet paper, so I'd use Iraqi dinari to wipe my ass at the border shitter.
Yeah, you get 93,000 rial for every US dollar.
That's fucking crazy, bro. That's fucking crazy.
Bro, John, imagine if you took like $20,000 and invested it into the Iranian currency. And then if there's a overthrow of the government and then it goes back to normal 20 years from now, what would it be worth?
100 US dollars is 420,000 real.
Yeah.
Do you think
know there's people doing this shit right now that are buying, trading their fucking $10,000 or $100,000 for this Iranian money? Just gonna sit on this shit for 20
Oh my
years.
God, there's an Iran Craigslist. Let me check to see what the real estate's going for.
You're gonna buy something there?
Well, I was checking Ukraine when the war kicked off and to see like if people were listing their houses on Craigslist, and sure enough, you could buy like a 4-bedroom, 4-bath condo in Ukraine for like $8,000. Nothing.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be there. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it's gone when you finally get back to it.
As long as they don't change their currency after a regime change, then your money would be like fucking, oh my god, tens of millions of dollars for like 10 grand.
You'd have to compensate from the old currency to the new currency. There would have to be some exchange.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You take 10,000 US dollars, you convert it into the Iranian currency, and then 10 years from now, if they have a huge regime change, and now it's worth, just 50 cents on the dollar, and then you convert it back to US dollars. It's like fucking stock market shit. I mean, it's going to be a long haul if you're going to do it. I mean, I wouldn't do more than $100 or $1,000 if you can't afford it. You do it, and then they get a regime change, and they're like, we're discontinuing this currency. Fuck!
Well, like, when I tell you that I used to wipe my ass with the Iraqi dinari, like, when we went in, we took over their treasury, and we started printing the new Iraqi dinari under the new government. So I was using the old one that had Saddam Hussein's face on it, and the new dinari didn't have Saddam's face on it. So I was just saying, when I wiped my ass, it had Saddam's face on it.
Yeah, that would be the problem, is it probably has some fucking mullah on the fucking Iranian fucking currency, and then they would change it. Then you wouldn't have anything.
Of course they will. They're gonna change everything if that happens, bro. If it's a regime change. I posted something as a huge ass explosion in Taiwan. I don't know. That looks bigger than anything I've seen so far.
Harry, what is that?
I don't know, man. They're saying some big explosion. That was just recently, bro. This was posted like 30, 45 minutes ago. In Taiwan.
Someone's like, oh, it looks like Trump. Like a big orange ball.
I saw that, yeah. The second image I one looks like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Could be an oil refinery. I don't know. Is gas going up where you guys live in the United States? Or do you guys see like nothing really changing?
I'm good on this end. Then again,
I saw something going up.
I saw gas going down here in Florida, man. It went down significantly too. It's really weird. I haven't checked today, but let me see. Let me look on the app and see what it's showing. What is it, Gas Buddy? That's what it is, yeah.
Dude, that's like right by the fucking... I wonder if that's actually at the mountain where that facility is, if they already hit it and we're just not getting intel on or information on it yet. That's a big fucking explosion.
That's big, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's fucking huge.
I see the video of it. I don't know. You probably
Did you see the picture of Shuki or no?
Yeah.
You can probably find the video, because when you see the video, it makes it even look more aggressive, more violent, more, Oh, here, I found one with the video. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Let's see if I can,
I mean, I guess there's a lot of experts that are saying that the MOP can't actually penetrate that deep. Because the facility's really fucking deep, and I guess it's got, like, hardened concrete and all kinds of shit in there, so depends, like, how much hardened concrete and all that's there.
They're gonna do more than one run.
What I don't understand is how the fuck did India...
More than one run. There is 6 aircraft that need to be in there, and they will be there.
That will cave aircraft that hold 2 each. That's 12. That's good for a couple runs.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to go down on Thursday.
Why is everybody saying Thursday?
Hey, anybody got the video of that picture or no?
Let me find it, but you said Thursday. A couple other people said Thursday. What?
Oh, some YouTuber guy saying something's gonna pop off Thursday.
Actually, no. It was one of the leaders of Israel that went on a newscast.
Yeah.
Talked about it. He brought up like Project Grim Beaver when the beepers were blowing up on the Hezbollah members. But he says, you think that was something, wait till Thursday. And that's why everybody's waiting until Thursday.
I see. I gotta check Twitter. Find this fucking video. That's
It's all over Twitter, bro. But like, there's a better one than I saw.
I put it in the chat. The last link I added was the YouTube video from.
No, we're talking about the explosion. Did you see it, Doc?
No.
Oh, dude, check out the fucking explosion that Harry put in there. It's a fucking monster explosion.
Oh, okay, I got you. Holy shit! All right.
Yeah, but I don't know if the MOP makes a fireball like that because it's underground.
No, it looks like a chemical fire in addition to the explosion.
Yeah, maybe like some fuel tankers or something, or fuel.
Well, it's so bright. It looks like what's that one chemical that burns white? Phosphorus.
White phosphorus, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, I don't see a video. I only see.
It could be the photo
I'm trying to
too.
get a video to send to you guys. That's just the pictures there. But I mean, it's pretty much just.
There's obviously some secondaries in that for sure.
Oh, so okay, here's
that's not a primary detonation. That's a secondary detonation.
There's something I'm seeing. It says reports coming in from Iranian media that thousands of people from Tabriz, Iran, are demanding the Iran's government to launch an attack at Baku, Azerbaijan. This comes after Azerbaijan allowed Israel to hit Iran from the territory of Azerbaijan. I don't know if it's accurate or not. That's where that mountain is. It's a giant fucking fire that's burning. Yeah, there's a mountain right there.
That's a big plume, but.
And this was 9 hours ago.
Yeah, but that picture shows like a wafting cloud, not a plume. It was just one thing. Like I think all that fire that you see in that like lift is secondary because there's no mushroom to that cloud. I mean, because if it's from the primary impact, you always end up with a mushroom, because of the.
Yeah, there's silly gooses though.
Some black people are Jewish.
That's true.
I'm just saying. Sometimes I wonder, just about what happened a long time ago. Why it's really like that? Are the Jews really Jews, and black is just a color? So why?
Isn't it just the same game though, Marv?
Yeah, I believe it is. I'm just saying, black's just a color. You know what I'm saying? So it just, when we keep saying I love Jews and blacks, it's like, who are really black people? What are they really called? You know what I'm saying?
When I refer to black people, I refer to just people whose ancestors 5,000 years ago lived in sub-Saharan Africa. That's what I mean by black people.
Wait, really, Sam? You're not really, because I think when I say black, I mostly mean American black people.
So you don't think that someone from Nigeria is a black person?
I do, but I'd probably call them African or Nigerian.
Yeah, because they don't call them black in Africa. They don't call them black even in Europe.
Yeah. It's just America's so racialized in a particular way.
And it's the ones in America that think they're the Jews. The black Israelites in America think they're the Jews. So it's just weird. When I ponder on it, I just think it's weird.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
There's a lot of black people that are they feel ashamed of being from West Africa for no reason at all. Because they have self-hatred or something. So they try to claim that they're the Moors or the Jews or the Egyptians or what else do they try to claim?
Well, they still say they're the Jews, but they say the Jews came from Africa. That's what they say.
Yeah, but have you ever been on the internet and gotten a spam email? You know what spam is?
Yes, Queen.
I mean, everyone came from Africa originally. We're all from there originally. It's the birthplace of humanity. It's our womb.
I think I personally like studying the North better, though, to be honest, just because of the harsh conditions. So, I feel like the surviving, the way they had to survive in the North is pretty intense.
Do you mean North as in in Scandinavia or North as in Northern Africa?
Scandinavia, like all the way up there, for sure. Like that's why I'm saying harsh conditions. I'm not saying Africa is not harsh conditions, but over time it's a whole different ball game when it comes to surviving and food and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you die if you don't figure out how to, if you don't figure out a nice warm place to sleep with some fire, you're gonna literally just fucking die. It's very different.
Sam, I had a question for you. A biology, zoology thing.
Oh, I'm your man. I'm your
Okay,
dog.
so I learned, and it's still a matter of debate, but scientists are looking into this, that dolphins might get high off of pufferfish,
I've heard
intentionally. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that. I've never looked
That's
into
wild. I hope that's true.
There's other animals that get high. So some animals, when they eat apples, because they have like multi-chambered stomachs that take a while to digest stuff, that the apple will ferment in their stomachs. So I think maybe cows or maybe elephants, I'm not sure which, get drunk off apples. Too many of them, or if you eat a number of them, which is kind of funny. Who else gets high?
But what do you think about mixing books with chemicals, and that's what takes humans to the next level? I mean, books are, pre-computer, it's all programming, and then the mass distribution with Gutenberg. Now we have like an exponential explosion in large language models and IQ globally.
And what's that to do with getting high?
I'm saying that, when you, like on Shabbos, if you drink red wine and you study Torah, it enhances the learning. So there's a chemical component to education and maybe evolution of the human brain.
Yeah, I think that. There's definitely a chemical component because we know that the human brain, for example, we know that the human brain grew at stages when food was beginning to be cooked because you can access out more of the compounds and nutrients.
Yo, I just looked up how many animals get high off stuff, and it's so many. Okay, so...
But like on purpose?
Yeah, check it out. So moose, elk, and deer, and black bears gorge on windfall and apples over no ripe plums. The fruit keeps fermenting in their stomachs, producing enough alcohol to make them stagger or pass out. And then Bohemian cedar, waxwings, robins. Small birds can handle alcohol. And the lake winged binge on fermented berries regularly to mash crashes and windows. Pen-tailed tree shrews. They drink nightly from palm nectar that naturally runs. Certain amount of alcohol. And
The brain likes drugs. The brain likes drugs. It wants to get stimulated.
the vervet monkeys on St. Kitts have learned to steal pina coladas and from tourists, and they get drunk off it. Chimpanzees make leaf sponges to soak up naturally fermented raffia palm sap. Fruit bats can fly straight with blood alcohol that would floor us. They exploit fermented fruit year-round. But then there's also psychoactive fungi. Reindeer actively seek out Amanita muscaria mushrooms, and they get their head tossing and walking unsteadily. Wallabies break into opium poppy farms, and they eat capsules, and then they go run in circles. Bighorn sheep will scrape mountainsides to reach lichen. It acts as a mild narcotic. Some will risk falls for it. Domestic, cats will seek catnip, and it's entirely voluntary. And then cattle and horses and elk will, certain plants contain swainsinine, and they keep eating it, you'll get tremors and poor coordination. And the dolphins do the pufferfish. Dogs have learned to lick cane toads to get high. Amazonian jaguars occasionally chew a certain kind of vine that has a part of ayahuasca. But locals insist on
So check this out. So this is like a truth of the universe then, of the natural world, that like we seek altered experience, right? A brain of certain size and consciousness seeks its own alteration.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you want
the same thing, Calvin. That's perfect.
Well, they just did a materials test on an altar in Israel, and they found there was cannabis residue on a multi-thousand-year-old incense burning altar.
Getting high like a motherfucker. Getting high as fuck.
I mean, if you think about it for animals, how could you blame them for not wanting to be high? This shit.
I mean, think about an animal's life. They're in the food chain. I don't want to be in the food chain. I don't want to wake up in the morning and go, is something going to eat me today? So, and that's what most animals' lives are, is just thinking about whether they're going to get eaten. So that's pretty dope that we don't have to deal with that. But while you're dealing with not getting eaten, you might as well get high, eat some psychedelic berries or whatever.
Well, what I'm saying is there has to be either a correlation of gluttony, and intelligence, or, I mean, if you look at it on the long chain, of human experiences going back, like, say, 2,000 years. I mean, if you've read enough history, like as far back as I can go is like 300 BC, and those are like that's like Roman information. I don't know too much about all the other ancient civilizations, but to get to where we're at now globally, it's like it's still a very small percentage of the total human population that is actually consuming massive amounts of information with drugs, or I don't know. It's just a huge fucking giant consumption on the planet, from like Afghanistan heroin is still a multi-billion-dollar business, They're shipping it to Europe, they're shipping it to the US. The drugs, yeah. Drugs is a huge business. I mean, it's like peanut butter. People are going to eat it. It's, if you want it, you can get it.
Peanut butter is haram. Don't eat peanut butter. You should only eat cashew butter and walnut butter.
Where do you think in like the past 2,000 years the biggest jumps in IQ have occurred in human populations, or is it still essentially the same?
When Europe forced Jews to have white-collar jobs for 1,000 years, that was a big jump. There's probably a huge jump that happened when culture started. There's like a feedback loop, I suspect, between language, culture, intelligence. Like, it makes sense to have, if you have culture, then and language and intelligence, like those, like, I can say, hey, those berries over there are dangerous, and then you won't eat those, and you'll get different berries, and then you can bring back to the tribe, hey, tribe, I have the healthy berries, and then the tribe remembers, oh, those are the healthy berries. Like, it's just like, intelligence matters less if you don't remember it, and culture is just the way of, like, having, like, a sort of species memory, or, like, a tribe memory, and it makes, intelligence is less valuable if you can't share it with your homies, so that language gives you. So much of evolution has been towards the direction of, like, being able to share information. Like, the biggest jump was, like, when we figured out sexual reproduction, because it used to be that if you needed to survive some disease, you needed to have a literal mutation to be immune to it. But when we had sexual reproduction, you could have kids with someone who is immune to the disease, and then your kids would be immune to the disease. So you're, like, sharing genetic information with each other. But now we've just spread that to culture. Now we can share ideas with each other. And, like, the more we're able to sort of, like, connect, share information, problem solve, the more powerful we get.
Yeah, but I think a man and a woman having a baby today in 2025 is still like the ultimate biological technology in comparison to all the fucking communication spam we have to live with. Because we just live in information overload. Most people can't even actually process it, comprehend it, take it all in. And even if you can take it all in, you have to question, what is the point of taking in all this information that I can now access on my cell phone?
Yeah. I mean, having a baby is trippy. You're making a wholly new consciousness, a whole new being that gets to experience existence. Like, oh, hey, baby, I know you didn't ask for this, but you're going to experience consciousness. Good luck. Have fun.
Well, you could also drive over to Planned Parenthood and have a Da Vinci machine do a biological, separation.
What do you mean by biological separation?
When they tear a baby apart in a womb with a Da Vinci machine.
Are you against abortion?
I think it's 100,000 babies a month at a cost of a 10 billion a month or $1 billion a month. Supposedly, that's what AI says and what Google search says. I just think that like women should be given a check for $10,000 to have the baby because depopulation is real. So at this point, the government should just pay for you to have the baby instead of pay you to kill the baby.
Yeah, but there's 8 billion humans on Earth. How many humans do we need?
Now I'm talking about American
I
babies.
mean, if you think about it, Sam, you are right, but that's why it's like how many people die a day for the same question that you just said. So everything gets handled naturally.
I think women would be much happier getting a check for $10,000 and having their baby on average. I'm talking about a happiness index here, as opposed to going to a Planned Parenthood doctor and having the abortion procedure. It's like giving the money to the voters or the taxpayers.
John, my fault.
Go ahead. What?
I hate it. I was just saying, most of the time that is the reason on why they have abortion. It's always a financial situation for a lot of women.
Yeah, so that's like saying to the taxpayers, like, okay, I'd prefer you not to spend my money on regime change and 100 other items. I'd rather just have the money back. Thank you.
I feel like sometimes they be just so afraid to put the money directly in citizens' hands. I don't know why America is like that, but we are.
I think that fetuses don't have moral status because they don't have minds yet. So like in the first trimester, they don't think they have a mind. So I think they have the moral status of like lumber or like rocks. They don't have minds. So they give you a moral status.
Yourself without your body? You know what I'm saying? Would you be anything if you just was a walking head with a brain though? Either.
Yeah, if my consciousness was uploaded into a machine.
Yeah, see, that's that extra stuff that you wouldn't have been able to do without everything in the first place. So that took a normal person that had everything. Like, the brain is just one part of our whole makeup that matters. So, like, the other stuff had to be built first, but that doesn't mean that it's not a human being just because the brain wasn't there yet to think for itself.
It's just not a mind. It's not a person. It's a human, not a person.
Sam, can you?
You can still be alive and be brain dead, bro. Like,
Sam, can you use your imagination though and pretend you're a woman with a fetus in your uterus right now, and like you have a connection to this baby that you can feel that has grown inside of you, and like you're no longer one, you're actually like two, or two in one. I mean, I'm just saying that a woman has to have this like relationship with that baby or organism in its body. So how can you as a man like actually answer that question with certainty, because you're not a woman obviously and you can't have that special situation? So I mean, isn't this just a waste of time and spam?
No, it's not. And it's amazing that language allows us to take the perspectives of other people, and imagination lets us imagine what it's like to be other things. So I don't think we have this.
Yeah, but as a woman though, bro, that's a whole different thing to imagine that. That's just more than imagining. That comes with pain, time, and a lot of things that you really just can't just imagine and then feel it all and understand.
That's true, because there's a lot of time
If
involved.
I took your mind and I put it into the body of an octopus, you would still be alive. You'd have a different body, but you'd still be you. But if I took your mind and destroyed it, but kept your body, you would be dead.
You see how twisted you sound?
No. That's
So
not terrible.
I heard someone on this app,
Brains and octopuses to prove a point.
Marv just moved past his comedy, but I heard somebody say, if you have a government, that's the government you deserve. It's like, oh wow, what genius thought of that? I mean, the point is, it's like, if you come on this app, you should at least try to do some kind of creative, imaginative work on what could be, or do personal work. But I mean, I don't think I would survive in an octopus body. That's just me.
Because we're humans, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta be humane. So the whole point of doing that is by respecting the process that makes it human. You have no choice but to respect the process that makes it human, because you wouldn't be you right now without that process doing it in the exact way that it did it. So if it wanted the brain to be first because that mattered so much, I'm sure that the brain would be the first thing that would get created in the process of creation, but it's not. So that means everything has to be respected.
But Mark, do you think that everything is political? Because I really do believe that now, that everything is political.
I don't think it should be, but I mean, I feel like people just like debating because we all have a voice. So I feel like it's just always.
But when I say everything is political, do you know what that means? That means money, your dollars, that's political. Abortions, that's political. The vaccine, that's political. Real estate is like every single fucking thing in our entire field of existence is somehow tied into what we call politics or polity.
Because we let our government, run a lot of things in our lives. I think that's why.
But is it like this in other countries? I mean, I know I live in a bubble. I've traveled the world, but like I've never really lived abroad to where I'm just like, oh, okay, their government doesn't control every aspect of their field of existence.
Because they outrage too. Like, other countries have revolts in their country, and they make it known a lot of things, and it gets respected because they're all the same people. I feel like in America, it's just so much it's just a lot of crazy. It's just a lot of diversity, different opinions, and I don't know, just a different country than other countries for sure.
Yeah, I just think that what you are is your mind, and your body is like a vehicle that allows you to have a mind. But if your mind goes away, and your body remains, you're dead. Like the brain dead people in hospitals, they're just dead. They don't exist anymore.
So like, if I come on here and I can't talk anymore, does that mean I'm still alive?
I could sleep right now too, and then, like, what does that mean? I'm like, my brain's asleep in sleep state. Like, at the end of the day, you're not just your brain, bro. So I understand that's where you think and use your intelligence, but you're not really being intelligent by thinking that you're just your brain. You're not. This whole entire makeup is who you are.
So Sam, have you seen Lawnmower Man though? Do you think men and women are just uploading their brains then onto the internet, and like that's the future of humanity?
How we do that?
But isn't that technically what's happening even with films from the 1920s? People are just recording themselves knowing that those visuals will be ingested by people in the future.
Yeah, but those recordings are not conscious. And I'm saying what you are is a mind. Fundamentally, you're just a watcher of experience. And that thing, that you could take your brain, put it in some other person's body or some other animal's body, and as long as you have the consciousness, you still are alive.
There hasn't always been a thing. That's the new type of technology.
I know, but you just said we are our words then.
You're not creating a human when you do that. That's not a human. When you sit here and put your brain into a body of an octopus, it's no longer a human. So what I'm trying to say is, right now somebody shot you in your heart. Like, you're going to feel some type of way about that, right? It's going to feel like disrespect. Why? Because the body matters. It's not like you'll die and then your brain shuts off. But they shot your body. That doesn't matter. Shouldn't you still be alive then? No, you're not. You're dead.
But then, Sam, what are your goals then? Like, personally, I don't know if you want to answer it because it's too personal, but like, what are your desires or goals in life? And then, like, what do you think your desires or goals here are on this app? Like, is it just fun and comedy, or do you have any kind of desires?
Me personally, I just want to make friends, have community, have joy, have love, have ideas, to basically learn and be entertained and see beauty and stuff. But when it comes to my species, I want us to spread into the stars. I want us to spread consciousness and bliss throughout the universe. I want the universe to be awake and full of life and full of bliss, and that's what we should be aiming for. But we're too short-sightedly focused on stupid petty stuff to realize that what really matters is to spread consciousness and bliss through the universe. And we could do it. We could genetically engineer ourselves to live much longer, be much happier, be much smarter, and we should do that. We should change ourselves because we're a broken, fallen species that isn't perfect.
So the reason why we're broken and fallen is because of because of our own actions, or do you think it's because the earth can't provide us for what we need to live longer? Don't you think maybe we're just poisoning ourselves and that's why we don't live longer? Like, it's not like we have to be geeks all the fucking time and go and change our bodies because you don't know how to follow the manual on how to take care of your own body. It's a responsibility thing to take care of your body. People like to grow and they like to connect. We like to always talk about ideas, but there's another side of life which is called responsibility. Which is a part of your body. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, which is a part of nature too. So like if you would relate with your body, you would understand how your body's connected with Mother Nature. How we have, copper in our veins, and so does Mother Nature. And I'm pretty sure the percentage is almost the same. So there's a lot of weird synchronicities and stuff that really does matter. And then we would be able to live longer if we would go down that lane and actually take it serious. Because we are the earth. So therefore, we don't have to be robots in order to live forever.
Well, one thing that's, there's limits to what we are as a species. Even if you eat the healthiest that you could possibly live, you're going to only live 120 years. And that's like if you're super the luckiest person in the world. And yeah, we can be happy, but there's a limit. We can't just be permanently blissed out as if we were on MDMA all the time. And we can be smart. Like a human can be like, 150 IQ, but we can't be like 700 IQ because there's just limits to this biological form. Because at the end of the day, we're just like a slightly improved chimpanzee. We're not like an angel. And what we can do is see our flaws and change ourselves to become better. We need to get control of our biology, control of our minds. The Buddhists say everything is unsatisfactory. Life is dukkha. That's only because our brains are broken. If our brains weren't broken, things wouldn't be unsatisfactory. We would just be in bliss all the time. So,
so isn't it?
Have a wrong idea about how to fix the problem. They want to just be complacent with our brains, whereas I think our brains are broken and we can fix them.
So, do you think you fixed your brain then?
Why would you think your brain is broken, bro? That's kind of scary.
Because obviously it would be better if I had you right now, and your IQ was 700, and you lived 1,000 years. And you were always in bliss, and I said, let's take those away. Let's make you only 100 IQ. Let's make you live to be 70, and let's make you only mildly happy. You would not say, thank you, Sam. You would be like, you're a monster, Sam. What is wrong with you? And so because you just have the status quo bias to think that what we have now is good, you don't think about what could be and what could be better. And what we have right now is just a slightly improved ape, but we could become angels. So we need to sort of change ourselves to become angels.
We can't become angels when we keep wanting to destroy to become robots. Like, it's not happening. Not that direction. Like, you're just turning yourself into a materialistic thing that can end up getting destroyed by nature. So that's not the way to become an angel. It's what I really believe. I don't believe becoming a robot and transferring your conscience, which is nothing but thoughts, which can be transformed into a bot like these AIs right now. That's not really everything to being who you are right now in this realm that we're in. You want to be an angel. Well, angels aren't even in this realm. Nobody has seen an angel scientifically. So it's like, at the end of the day, they're not even in this realm. They're not in this space of a human form that we're in now. So it's like, maybe you could be right when you say something about the brain, but like, if you die, do you think you go somewhere else, like where the angels are? Like, or do you think you just die and then you're never remembered again?
You die and you're never remembered. You enter oblivion. You just cease to exist forever.
So what makes you think that you're still going to live just because somebody transferred your thoughts, which is not the electrical currents, to a robot? What makes you think you're still going to be alive?
Because I think that my mind is a mixture of the pattern of firings that I have and the causal relatedness to itself. And if I'm able to change my, be causally related to this other pattern, and if the pattern is similar enough, then it's just going to be me. In the same way that I'm still the same me as me 1 week ago, even though lots of my atoms in my body have changed. What's the same? Well, I'm causally related to that other self, and the pattern's similar. And so that's what would keep me alive.
So Sam, how do you respond to the like Buddhistic sentiment that there's not a speck of dust out of place in the whole universe? Does that
Yeah,
help
that's,
enlighten people whose brains need to be fixed?
no, that's just evil.
Well, I mean, isn't it a reframe? Isn't it a reframe then?
Like the way you make it seem like you're depressed in the mental, more than people who are telling that are natural are telling you like this is bliss, and you're like, oh, I have a headache, and I feel like we're sleeping, and it's like, how that doesn't make any sense, bro.
Just think about what the Buddhist. It sounds good to say there's no speck out of place in the universe, but then you imagine like a 12-year-old girl being mutilated and like dismembered, and imagine the Buddhist looking at that and being like, "There's not a speck out of place in the universe," and then you go, "Oh, what you said was a stupid platitude, and actually what you should do is stop the person just torturing and dismembering this little girl." And yeah, it's actually like just you being a coward and you being pathetic. You're not going to try to stop this from happening.
I could use my natural body to stop that from happening. I don't need to be a robot for that.
But you'd have more ability to help more people if you were a cyborg.
That's why, but I'm really not even trying to troll. I'm really like kind of curious because like I feel like if you transfer your conscience to a robot which isn't even alive, like doesn't have a body at all, it just has materialistic things that we've made to be able to send signals to certain areas to work properly, and it's just mimicking what you are, but that doesn't mean you're still alive from it mimicking you. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are going to get tricked on here soon. Is they're going to realize that once that process happens and they take this chance, because it sounds all thriftful, they're going to realize that, and nobody's going to know because, we don't even know where dead people go either. So it's just going to be spooky when I see a lot of people sign up to do this shit and they really think that they're still going to be alive just because the thoughts got copied. Like right now we got 5G. Now, we got 5G out here, right? They can like damn near already tap into brainwaves in fucking waves, and it's just like they can literally mimic you right now and put you in a robot, but that doesn't mean you're alive. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but you have to ask the philosophical question of why are you still alive? Why is it still you from 1 year ago? So many atoms in your body have changed. So many different particles in your body have changed. You got to think, what is it? What am I really? Are you just the atoms that make you up? Because that's changing. So for me, I think it's plausibly the pattern of your thoughts and the causal connectionness to each other. That's what makes you you, not the atoms.
I think without that body, you wouldn't even have the certain thoughts that you have because of certain signals that are going off at certain times passively that we don't even know about in the subconscious. There's a lot of things that are tied into each other. And like you have a brain in your gut down there too that controls half of your personality. So it's all intertwined. Is what I'm really just trying to get you to know. Like it's all intertwined, and that's why your heart is in your body. It's not in your brain. And if somebody hits that, you're done for it too. So it's just like I'm not trying to be like make it seem like everything's all dandy and perfect in life. But I do feel like the reason why it's not is because as humans we always want more and more, and that's literally the reason why it's kind of not. And that's why the Buddha gets a lot of heat for a lot of peace of nature. But if the one that was doing the savage shit was fucking listening to the Buddha instead of listening to somebody else that told him to go chase a bag or go chase, probably wouldn't even be doing that to that girl because he would have known how to be like the Buddha in the fucking first place. So it's like being in tune with peace and nature. Believe it or not, look at a fucking tree and how long a tree lasts. It lasts for a long ass fucking time because it's peaceful and it's still. Now we as humans, that's our downfall, and I think that's why we died, because we have so many spurts of just fucking ideas that we just wanted forever, like think it's good. Not everything's fucking good that comes across your brain, like at all.
Hey Sam, I'm curious, what in the Dhammapada do you not agree with?
I was looking at this recently. One second. First off, one is something we're talking about tomorrow. Like, people have pacemakers, but they don't have hearts anymore. They just have robots' hearts, and that's fine because that heart is just a blood pump. It's not your soul. But
people are mental too, man. And I feel like at the end of the day, people have brain problems too. It's like you can go, it would be a bunch of tit for tat back and forth. Like we could just keep bringing in examples of doing that, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there's people with brain problems too. That's what I'm trying to say. That stops them from having a complete personality. That makes you want to even upload it into a robot in the first place. So, I really, yeah.
Alright, so here are the major tenets of Buddhism, and here's which ones I think are wrong. Life involves dukkha, aka unsatisfactoriness. That's true, but the way to fix that is to change our brains rather than to just accept it. Nirvana is a thing that exists, but it's not one thing. There's lots of different mental states that people call nirvana and enlightenment, and people think there's just one state and they're wrong. Yes, things are impermanent, but it matters how impermanent. I think lasting for 1,000 years is better than lasting for a second. I don't believe in non-self. I think that you have a self, and it's what makes you have the consciousness you have. That's why you don't have my consciousness, because we're different selves. Karma.
How long's the list?
Karma and rebirth are just superstitions. They don't exist. I can just stop there, I guess, if you want.
I mean, the point is, I asked you, what in the Dhammapada do you not agree with? The Dhammapada are the sayings of the Buddha, not, the Buddhistic religion. I mean, you gave me, like, the generalities, but nothing from Dhammapada. So in the scripture or the sayings of the Buddha, what in those sayings do you disagree with? I'm basically pointing out that, like, this ain't book club. I mean, but I wish it was.
Alright, so I'm reading. I asked what are the main points of the Dhammapada. It says, mind precedes all states. Our experience is shaped by thoughts. Wholesome thinking follows to happiness. So that's true. Heedfulness is life. Constant vigilance and conduct and meditation is good. Actions have inescapable results. That's true. Taming the mind is good at conquering others. That's true. Conditioned things are impermanent and unsatisfactory. I mean, yeah, I guess, but I still think that the unsatisfactoriness and permanence come in degrees. So I disagree with that. Anger burns the angry. Yeah, but also anger helps deter bad behavior. Speech matters. Yeah, that's true. Craving is the root of all grief. No, I mean it's one of the roots of grief, but it's not the only one. I mean, the mere fact that you can have cluster headaches is a source of grief. That doesn't have to do with craving. It's just your brain's broken.
Cluster headaches.
Simple living through desires. That's generally reasonable. Wisdom is not book learning, but knowing what leads to peace. That's true. Self-reliance is good. Meditation is okay. Compassion is good. Nirvana is the highest good. I mean, Nirvana is alright. I think that, again, there's different mental states that are called enlightenment. There's different clusters of enlightenment. And people are confused when they think there's just one thing that's enlightenment.
What I think is interesting, a lot of what you just read, you agreed with, but yet it contradicts your original assessment of Buddhism and your disagreements there, which I find kind of interesting. I mean, don't you think books are just programs? And if you don't actually put a program into your brain, you're just basically a cell phone without any apps, and therefore you're boring?
Yeah, that's true.
can be questioned, so I will leave the could there. You can have, that's the same space that later on provides room for you to be wrong. It's the same space that allows for whatever you were thinking to be refined. It can be, oh, what I was thinking was correct, but this, and this didn't need. This part of my thinking isn't correct. So
That's because you're the only moderator and you're a hypnotist wasting everybody's time with your bullshit.
Random B.
Just.
No, I want to hear you. No, please, man. I want to hear you.
Let me have fun too.
Can we, guys? Am I not allowed to have fun?
We were here.
No.
Come on. So okay, page one. Go ahead. Call me Paki. What else?
No, I'm done.
No. That's not enough for me.
No, I only do it one time an hour.
Is that all that you get paid for to do by the Zionist lobby, by the hospital department?
I wish I was getting paid by APAC. I don't, unfortunately.
No, you get paid.
Yeah,
not enough probably, but you do get paid.
You are free beach.
I wish. Are you getting paid by the Qataris, or are you getting paid by Hamas, or what?
No, thank God nobody needs to pay me. I have enough money to speak for the Palestinians, speak for the Iranians who are being right now bombed. And I will do it every day.
You don't need me to be your spokesman, bro. That's what I know for sure.
I really don't want you to speak for us with your nasty ass.
I don't need your...
Go put on some shoes.
Your prince paid
Rayan, when two adults are speaking,
Arash, what do you say?
Kids shouldn't intervene. Your papa didn't teach you that. So, Pejman, here's the point. No, I was going to kick you down, but mistakenly he got kicked down.
Oh.
So shall I bring him back and kick you down?
No, leave Ryan down there. He just, Pejman's a little...
So here's the point, Pejman. Anyway, engaging with you doesn't make any difference to the conversation. It doesn't make any positive difference. So I would rather not engage with you. So here's the point, Amir. I was reading a few news. You just shared a few news things. So I believe Iran announced that all its citizens should delete the WhatsApp app, because Iran believes that WhatsApp Meta is supplying information about the WhatsApp users with Israel. It's sharing it with Israel. So this is one news that I got. The other thing that we got was...
I saw that. I read that article.
The other thing I got was that all the airports throughout the Middle East are, in a state of kind of turmoil, because many of the aircrafts cannot fly because they have to take the route where the missiles are flying. So most of the flights in the entirety of Middle East is being grounded. People from all over the world, they're all grounded here and there. They cannot move around and so on. So this is another domino effect of the war, affecting everybody in this world because of what this Zionist regime started. So the other one that I saw was, in all these things, the G7 issues a statement saying Israel has a right to defend itself. The same old BS. Israel has a right to defend itself. From what? From a war that it started against Iran?
We on that same shit.
The WhatsApp story.
We on that same shit. We're calling the FBI and reporting Amir for saying that Shia sleeper cells are going to strike us.
I just wanted to make was Israel is
You can't come on here and make death threats, motherfucker. I'm going to call the FBI, have your door punched in.
It has found an opportunity to kill more and more Palestinians in Gaza. Yesterday, more than 50 Palestinians,
Well, I've had enough of this for one day. I know what's going down.
They were
Alright, sounds good.
slaughtered by one of their tanks.
Tater tot.
Literally slaughtered on the spot when they were trying to seek aid.
Fayez.
I think you're
Martel,
burning
you're
your
back,
energy
huh?
unnecessarily. You see what happened with Hamas. You saw what happened with Hezbollah. You saw what happened with Assad. The same thing is happening with Islamic Republic of Iran. In about a month and a half,
Why are you telling
Islamic
us?
Republic of Iran is gonna be gone.
Why are you telling us?
Everything, the Houthis are fucked.
We don't care, Bruce. Sorry, I muted you, brother Faz. Bruce, we don't care. Okay. Hold on, Bruce. That's your problem. Okay. You should worry about that.
I'm here. Don't you find it ironic?
Hold on.
We're not Iranian.
Hold on. We're worried about the civilian population inside Iran.
The civilian population are rooting for Israel. The Iranian, Muslim Iranians in Iran
Bruce, you're going on a whole fucking. Hold on. You're
they
going on a
want
fucking.
to make a building to his. They want to name a city after Bibi Netanyahu. They're begging.
Can you stop coming off the mic? Please don't come off the mic.
Amir, why don't you let him talk, Benny?
Bajman, mute up. Okay, this is not your room. I'm not gonna allow you to. Last warning before I move you down. This is not. Do you see Iran on the title?
Yeah, Iran.
Do you see Iran? Do you see Iranian fucking? Do you see Iranian flag in the title today? No, you don't.
About Netanyahu.
No. Bruce.
Netanyahu.
No, it's a bro.
Yeah, I'm talking about Netanyahu.
Oh my God, this guy does not want to shut up. Last warning before I move you down. Okay, last warning. So just stay muted. I'll give you the mic. Oh, okay.
It's not our business.
Have a safe flight. Get lost, man. Get the fuck out of here. No, fucking bitch.
If you guys want to overthrow your government, that's your business.
Yeah, that's your business. Go do whatever you want to do, man.
I'm really very curious, like, Benjamin, if you can answer this. Why don't you go fight with the Israelis, kill your own people, and overthrow your own government? Why don't you do that?
He's a pussy.
So hold on. Right now you had me, Ryan, and Bruce are all Iranians, and we're all telling you something, but you don't want to listen. So who is the problem?
But Benjamin, so what we're trying to discuss here, the fact that Israel attacked Iran. Okay? Now your issue is something with your own regime. We're not Iranians, you know?
Correct.
But since you have a big issue with the regime and you're okay with the Israelis attacking your own country and your own people, why don't you go fight with them, kill your own people, and then overthrow your government, your regime?
Let the Iranian talk too. You just keep talking. You don't let the Iranian talk.
Can I get a chance to?
It's not good.
So answer, Benjamin, answer.
So airplane, we have tried in 1999. There was a student uprising. There was a student uprising in 2003. There was a uprising in 2009. There was an uprising in 2017, 18, and then the Women Life Freedom in 2022. All of them got brutally crushed by the IRGC and the mullahs in Iran. This is not news. Every single time is anywhere between 100 to 1,500 got slaughtered by the Iranian regime. This is not a kumbaya. Oh, let's make peace. Oh, let's hold hands.
Sure.
This is not Gandhi.
Sure.
This is not a Martin Luther King government.
Okay.
This government needs my dick, your dick inside of the asses of this regime. End of story. Now,
Again, one second. Again, we're here to discuss the fact that Israel. One second. We're here to discuss the fact that Israel
Let airplane land. Miss him. Miss him. Can you stay quiet for a while, please? Airplane, go ahead.
So Benjamin, again, we're here to discuss the fact that Israel attacked Iran and killed your own people, your civilians. So can you contribute to this? If you have something with the regime, we're not Iranians. We can't help you with that. We don't know about it.
That first Thursday, last Thursday, when they killed all of the regime's commanders, everybody was happy. Everybody was happy. Popping bottles, champagne, the whole. Well, you guys don't drink, but
who was happy? Who was happy?
The Iranian people were, by and large, extremely happy.
Again, yeah, Benjamin, this is not what we're discussing.
No, you're saying why don't you do it yourself? And I agree with you. The Iranian people should do it themselves, ultimately.
No,
yes.
But you're forcing us to talk about something that we're not talking about.
No, you're talking about Iran.
Okay, but we're not talking about overthrowing the regime. That's something that you want to do. We don't want to do that.
Can we share the mic?
We're not Iranians.
Listen, baby killers. Whatever you do, and whatever you say will wipe you off.
Can we share the microphone?
We will destroy you. We will destroy you baby killers.
Okay, thank you.
One mic on point.
Can we give the mic to Point and then to miss him?
That's so emotional. Anyway, for those of you that read Trump's tweet.
I'm talking about the reality, you baby killer. You little baby killer.
Mute up.
Miss him.
Your garbage
Please
up.
mute him. No, Moose, you stay muted. You don't have to get involved.
Good. All right, so for those of you, thank you very much. So those of you that read the tweet, as you know, I trade on the market, and we rely on the tweets a lot to show us where the market will trend. So we have to break down the tweet and understand what's hidden in it. What's hidden in Trump's latest tweet is one, a death threat to the leader of Iran. But more importantly, Trump is like a child. He can't keep his mouth closed, so he revealed that it's all Palantir. If you really read what he said,
what the fuck is this?
We know where you are. Shut up. We know where you are. Remember that facial recognition thing I told you guys about, Project Lavender? So that's what he's bragging about. And it's unfortunate that Peter Thiel is running amok, but this is what the Zionists do. So what the plan is for Iran, that's why Trump said something much bigger. That's what he said after he left the G7. What I believe they're planning is the total elimination of the officers of the entire regime in one hit, regardless of where they're stationed or hiding. And the only people that have that software to do that, as we know, Amir, is Palantir. Thank you.
Mason.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Mason, go ahead, Mason.
Oh, you talking
Mason,
to
are
me?
you there?
Can I talk, guys? Please?
No, Darvish.
Why not?
Mason,
Why
no,
not?
Mason, no, you didn't ask to be allowed to talk. Mason requested. So after Mason, you will speak. If Mason is not there, then I will give you the mic.
Okay.
That's how it goes. Mason, go ahead.
Brother, just wanted to say, these Zionist kids killer have crossed all the red lines, yeah? And I promise you, we'll destroy them. And that's God's will. I'm not saying we as Iranians will destroy them. That is God's will, and it will happen soon, I promise you. And the Palestine is going to be free.
Amir, I'm sorry. One other thing, Amir.
Point.
Let her finish.
For you. There is only one. If you want to save your life, baby killers. Listen, baby killers. If you want to save your life, there is only one way. You have to leave the occupied Palestine. There is the only way. We don't leave you alone. We don't leave you to have to be living in a peace. That's it. We'll destroy you. Enough is enough. To make all the world is sick of you. All the world is against you. Because you're wild. Because I can't even call you animal. I can't even call you. You're absolutely Satan. You're absolutely Satan. Evil. Yeah. You do not deserve to have a country which you don't have. You have to fight in the Palestine. We will free Palestine, and it will happen. You will see that.
Amir, thank you.
Mason.
Amir,
Yeah, Point,
the
go
other
ahead
people
and then Darvish.
Okay,
Point,
Amir, the part I left out, I'm sorry. And the crowning glory to my theory was, guess who was presented on Bloomberg for a long interview this morning?
Don't give a fuck.
The Shah of Iran's son. Yeah.
Oh, now you get rid fucked though, Pajman.
Okay. بابا چقدر کسوشه میگن. Oh my god.
Stay muted, Darvish.
Okay, guys.
Mason, please stay muted. Pageman, stay muted.
Iranian people, they don't call Israel enemy. The enemy of the Iran is Islamic regime. and killing us about 46 years.
Shut your
So
fucking dirty
don't
mouth.
try
Shut
to
your
believe.
fucking dirty
Listen,
mouth.
don't try to
Miss him, let him speak, miss him. Please, miss him, let him speak. No, miss him, let him speak, please.
You know, you said Mr. Airplane said, Israel attacked Iran. No. Israel, they didn't attack Iran. Israel defend themselves. The October 7th, the Iranian, huh?
Who?
Can you stay muted, sit, brother?
I don't know. They
Yeah, continue.
You continue.
October 7th, yeah,
With
continue.
Iranian money injection to Hamas, and Hamas attack Israel.
To defend themselves.
It was all plan of Iran. So don't blame Israel or Israel attack. 46 years Islamic regime killing innocent people in the Israel with Iranian money. So please don't tell us Israel is enemy of the Iranian people. Another thing I want, Israel, they tried not killing Iranian people so far. And all time they hit all the oil facility, electricity, the IRGC and that stuff. So please shut up.
Miss him, let him land. Miss him, please.
And I want to tell you, Iranian and Israel, excuse me, Iranian and Israel, they have a great relationship about over 3,000 years. We have a history together. So we are not going to change this history and fuck this history.
Okay, Darwish, please land in 15 seconds.
Yeah, I want to ask him a question after he's
Okay,
done.
go ahead.
For you.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Airplane.
So why don't you go fight with the Israelis and attack Iran?
Enough is enough.
1 second, Nathan. Why don't you go fight with the Israelis and attack Iran?
Say again, sir. I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear.
Why don't you go fight with the Israelis and attack Iran?
We don't fight with Israel. This is problem of Islamic regime.
No, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand.
It's not Iranian problem.
You
We don't have any problem with Israel.
Okay, Darwish.
Israel wasn't even existing. What are you talking about for
They have a
7,000
problem
years?
with Israel. They hijacked my country.
No, my question. This is not my question.
Islamic regime,
It's not my question. Haytham, 1 second. Dariush, that's not my question. So you have Haytham, 1 second. You have a problem with the regime, is that right?
Exactly.
Okay, and right now Israel is attacking that regime, is that correct?
Okay.
Why don't you go fight with Israel?
Because there is no
I don't have a problem. Something wrong with your brain.
No. I tell you what you are. You're probably somebody that lives overseas,
You don't listen to me.
and you got paid by the Zionists to prop this up. You know.
Okay, Airplane, we'll give the mic to Meshim. Okay.
Problem with Israel.
Okay, we got your point. We got your point, Darwish.
No problem with Israel. These people, they say they hit the rocket to Israel and kill kids of the Israelian in the land of the Israel.
Okay, Darwish, we got your point. We got your point. Thank you. We'll give the mic to Meshim. Meshim, you wanted to respond to Darwish.
Yes, brother. You know, whatever he said is absolutely bullshit. Yeah, he's a liar. Israel is not a country. There's no country called Israel. It's occupied Palestine. You say you've been friends with Iranians for past 3,000 years?
من خودم نه تو اشغال کردم جونی برو من تو اشغال کردم
Pageman, stay muted, Pageman.
See, this is the problem with we're not Iranians, Pajama Man. We're not Iranians, buddy. Like you have a problem with your regime.
Let me say, I tell you.
Darwish, can you stay muted, please? Darwish, we give you the time. Meshim, have you finished, Meshim?
Brother, I just wanted to say the majority of Iranian people are supporting our government. It is the reality. Do not listen to this Israeli baby killers propaganda. Yeah, we don't want to give up. until the baby killers give up. Oh, we're gonna wipe them off. Do not listen to the propaganda.
Okay,
If they want
thank
to
you,
take off
Meshim.
the ball, come on, let them take off.
Yeah, we got your point. Let me respond to Darvesh now. Let me respond to Darvesh now. No. Darvesh, can I respond to you to the points that you made? Okay, please stay muted. Thank you. So first of all, you said Iran and Israel has some 1,000 years, 3,000 or 7,000 something. You said
No,
a relationship.
3,000. Don't go
Okay,
7,000.
3,000. Okay, Israel was created in 1948. So I do not know, and I know Iran has a long culture, very old culture. I don't deny that. That's probably going beyond 3,000. But Israel was created in 1948. That means it's just 77 years old. So I don't understand how a very old culture like the Iranian or the Persian culture can be similar to the culture of a country that was created just about 77 years ago. That is point number one. Point number two, you also said that Iran has been supplying or helping Hamas, and Hamas carried out an attack on Israel,
Not
on Israeli
Iran,
land.
Islamic regime. Iran is different.
No, Darvish, please don't push words into my mouth.
Bias, can you let Gia, please? Can you let Gia, please?
Where is he?
He's in, he should be an audience.
Okay.
I already said him anyway.
Okay. So you said Hamas carried out butchering in Israel and on Israel's land. First of all, the entirety of Israel does not belong to Israel. Okay? Israel did, like I said, Israel did not exist before 1948, and Israel is an illegitimate creation by the United Nations. Okay, it's a reality today. We accept the reality. It doesn't mean we will call it legitimate. Then the second point, if America and many other Western nations can help Israel kill 60 to 70,000 Palestinians in Gaza and continue to starve 2 million of them, why shouldn't Iran or any other country in the world help the Palestinians? The Hamas is not, it may be a terrorist movement for you, but for many of us, for me in particular, Hamas is not a terrorist movement. It is a resistance movement that is fighting to free its land. I do not agree with many of the methods that it employs, but it doesn't mean that I will call it as a terrorist movement. It is not. Whom I will call as a terrorist movement is somebody who kills children, babies, simply because they belong to a particular race. In this case, Israel IDF, which kills children. If you really, if you have empathy for humanity, I suggest you go and look up the articles written by Jewish people, Israeli historians, Israeli academicians, who clearly write what Israel is doing to the Palestinians in Gaza. So this is the second point. And the final point I want to make is, Israel did not have the right to attack Iran. It was unprovoked. Israel went to war on Iran on the 13th of this month. On the 16th of the same month, of this month, Trump had announced that we are going to have a final discussion with Iran. That was on Sunday, we are going to have, and we will see, we are going to push Iran to sign a deal, zero enrichment deal with US. And he in fact requested, at least on paper, we all saw, he said that I have asked Netanyahu not to go to war with Iran. Israel could have waited for 72 hours to see the result of that agreement, that negotiation that US and Iran were going to have in Oman on the 16th. But no, Israel did not want a negotiation. Israel did not want a peace deal. Israel wants to continue the wars. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with, and if you're thinking, Darvesh, if you're thinking that because, no, listen, I'm not done, Darvesh. If you're thinking that it's all because Israel loves Iranian people, you are mistaken. Israel doesn't love anybody in the world. It loves itself.
And one more thing, how can you say that Iran attacked Israel if Israel came out and said that they attacked Iran? Like, are you fucking out of your mind? Like, where do you come up with that shit?
There's before I let G go, there's a couple of articles that said American intelligence has said that Iran does not have nuclear weapons.
No, Tulsi Gabbard, you know
American
the
intelligence.
well said. Tulsi Gabbard confirmed. Darvish, 1 minute. Just give me.
Iran try and make a bomb, guys.
No, Darvish, I'll tell you what happened. In 2003, the Islamic Republic of Iran signed an agreement, and they said we will not develop nuclear weapons. Okay, we will only pursue. Listen, Darvish. Listen, Darvish, please.
Sir, let me tell you.
No. Let me complete what I'm telling you.
President.
No.
When you.
Please. When I finish, yes, thank you. In 2003, Iran signed an agreement with the organization, the IAEA organization. It has another name. I can't recall it. Anyway, it signed an agreement by which it said we will not pursue nuclear weapons program. Okay. In 2005, that is this year, in 2025, March of this year, Tulsi Gabbard, the National Intelligence Director of the United States, in a Senate hearing, confirmed that U.S. intelligence has verified that Israel has not assumed its nuclear weapons program, and Israel is years away from developing a nuclear program, and it is not pursuing any nuclear program as on date. This was in March of 2025 by Tulsi Gabbard. Okay? Now, you people keep saying that Iran has weapons. Israel has weapons. If Iran, I will call the mullahs stupid because they should have gone ahead, developed the nuclear weapon. If they had had the nuclear weapon today, Israel would not have dared to attack them. They made a mistake of, believing these Zionists in the US and the Western world and thinking that we are having we have to honor the deal that we made with them, and they did not develop a weapon. They should have developed a nuclear weapon. This is what it is. Anyway, there are some new people in the room, so I want to give them the chance. So G is here. He wanted to speak. Then Sedubati wanted to speak.
I also want to speak to Fayez.
Yeah. So we'll give the mic to some new people. G, you want to go ahead?
Sir Faisal.
Yeah. Okay. 30 seconds, Darvish. Then G. Then Sedubati.
President Trump, he gave to chance to Iranian regime about 60 days, and they try everything to come to table and talk to us. You are not allowed to make a bomb, but I'm so sorry, they make a bomb. They tried to make a bomb.
They did not make a bomb. No, guys, Darvish.
So fuck you, motherfuckers, not my dick. Motherfucker,
I think this guy is mentally unstable.
Okay, guys, let's mute up for a minute, for a second. Let's mute up. Let's have some peace in the room. Okay, Darvish, the point is that he's left. Okay.
He left it, please.
Yeah. So the Darvish, the point is that
awesome.
when the National Intelligence Director of the United States says that there is no weapons program and Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, why is it so difficult to accept what she says? Because if you don't accept that, what else should we accept from what comes out of America? Anyway, we'll give the mic. G, you wanted to speak?
Yes, but I couldn't understand what exactly that Dariush's point was. But
he didn't have one.
He was saying that Iran has a bomb or something like that. He
said Iran has a bomb. We kept telling him it doesn't have a bomb. Tulsi Gabbard confirmed that it doesn't have a bomb. And
no.
Anyway,
Iran, the leader of the Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, has signed and is known as it's haram. For those that knows that haram means it's a machine or bomb or anything that is a mass creates a mass murder by the Islam, it's a haram. There might be certain area that this can be, that I'm not sure, but so far has been signed by the leader of Iran. It's called haram. It's prohibited. However, this can be changed. Most likely, I'm not sure if Iran gets attacked by any bomb or a small or big one. This can be immediately go, gets different and get signed up and ordered, because now the threat is it's emergency and Iran has to defend the people from against the enemy. So that situation, it might get changed. However, my belief is Iran has prohibited and has not going that direction because of that Ayatollah's signature. But Iran is on the ready stage, meaning Iran has everything that needs to put together, just in case if they want to do something stupid that will cause Iran have no choice to do it. So that's just like Japan right now. Japan is on the ready stage. Like if they get attacked or anything, they assemble it, they put it together, everybody have it. So it's in that level. It's not been together and it's not been signed. So until the leader and the Khamenei is in charge of all the army of the Iran. So he's the head of the army. So his signature is important as a leader, and all the IRGC, National Guard, it runs under the direct order of the Ayatollah Khamenei, and from the top to the bottom generals, and they get the order, they do the follow up the order. So that's on that. These people, they come in the room or spread any news like that, they should know the Irani's country has been part of the NPT and has been under heavy inspection, and the most camera out of all the countries that are part of the NPT, Iran is the most heavily been inspected by the inspector of the NPT organization. So the Mr. Garisi, he's in charge, the head of in that organization, and he's on his every signature for every report that has been heavily reported many times, that has been reported that Iran is being compliant with every step of the process. So I don't know how he knows that. We don't know if he has seen the bomb. Let us, so we go ahead and see it. I have no idea where they're doing it.
Brother, Iran also sent out an invitation 2 days ago for the West to go do inspection in Iran, by the way, if you missed on that one.
Yeah, Iran is clean. Right, Iran doesn't have it. Iran is clean. It's part of
Iran has nothing to hide. There's somebody new in the room. Edward, can we give him the chance first? Setu.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for giving me a chance. My question is, the world is so much biased in regarding the nuclear policy, because certain powers are having nuclear weapons. For example, in the Middle East, Israel is having nuclear weapons. Okay, so why not other countries like Iran and other Arab countries should not have a nuclear weapon? They should have a nuclear weapon. So, if the world is not that considering that there should not be any nuclear weapon, every country should destroy it. US should destroy it. Britain should destroy it. France should destroy it. Then they should teach other countries not to develop nuclear weapons. So this itself is not a proper thing. If IAEA is very much concerned about people, they should order every country who is having a nuclear weapon to destroy it. Then the humanity will prosper. Then why they are telling other For example, I'm telling is India is having a nuclear weapon. The same Pakistan is also having a nuclear weapon. This brings some balance in the region, which is the conflict itself is not going ahead because of the nuclear weapon. The balance, the conflict is not proceeding further. The same thing should be there in the Middle East. Some countries should have a nuclear weapon, like Saudi or Iran, because Israel is having. They should. So the other countries. I think today IAEA, am not proper. They also raised the concern like this thing, this free hand for Israel will make other countries to develop nuclear weapons because they will be frightened. Today Iran, tomorrow why not other countries? So every country will try to develop the nuclear weapons now.
Listen,
So this will happen. So
yeah, excellent point, Setu. Excellent point. That's what we all ask, and that's what everybody is asking in the world. Israel has nuclear weapons. It is confirmed. They are believed to have anywhere between 90 and 40 nuclear bombs. Okay, 90 and 400. And they do not allow IAEA inspectors to inspect their sites, their bombs. They also do not. They are also not a signatory to the NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. That's the only country in the world that has not signed the NPT. Okay, and there are among the 9 other countries. There are nine or 10 countries that have nuclear bombs. Israel is the only country that has not signed, and every other country like Iran, which do not have nuclear bombs, but they use the nuclear facilities for peaceful purposes like development of energy and so on. They are all signatory to the NPT. They allow IAEA inspectors to go and inspect to make sure that nuclear bomb is being produced. So thank you for that share.
Yeah.
Edward, I just want to give you the mic. But
I just want to add a single point because the same rhetoric that the Netanyahu is telling for 25 years, the Iran is 5 days, 7 days to develop a nuclear weapon. He's telling the same lie for 25 years, and the Western media is believing that. I don't know how they are believing this nonsense.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Anyway, the other point that I wanted to make was, forgot. You said something. Okay. Anyway, Edward. No, I wanted to respond to G, but after Edward.
No,
Okay,
I have a single question.
Can I?
Yeah, let Edward speak.
Setu.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. So, what has not been mentioned, and with Netanyahu's rhetoric of the Zionists, when they say that they have a 3,000-year-old history and relationship with the Persians, Iranians. This is misleading because when Cyrus, and they're referring to Cyrus, the king of Persia at the time, defeated the Babylonians, which were they had like Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, and Iraq. I think Iraq was their home territory, or the main part of the Babylonian Empire. So when they were defeated, Cyrus took over that whole area and allowed Jews to go to Palestine, to Jerusalem. However, there were Jews already there over 1,000 years before that. And the Jews that went over there, which is fine. But here's the fallacy here. When Netanyahu talks about the 3,000-year-old relationship with the Persians, Israel and the European Jews were not a part of this relationship. The relationship were those that were indigenous to the area, which were Israelites, the kingdom of Judah, the indigenous people, basically anybody that came from the Canaanites, which are the Palestinians. So the relationship with the Persians, with Cyrus, this 3,000-year-old relationship is not with the Israelis. It is actually with the indigenous people, the Palestinians, who were Jewish, then Christian, then Muslim, and some, of course, stayed Christian and Jewish. But it was with the Palestinians, not with Israel. And no one is called Zionists out on this app, or I haven't seen anything on social media saying this, and this is history. I'm not making this up. You can look it up. There was no European Jewish nation 2,500 years ago when Cyrus allowed the Jews that were expelled